What's going on, guys? All right, let me go ahead and start the live stream. We're in the premium. Yo. What's good, guys? What's going on? What's going on? All right, so here, let me get started with the screen share. 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, so guys, okay, so coming into market open, pretty interesting open for a Monday. Those shorts are beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there isn't really much to catch. Almost, we almost had something right here. But as you guys know, I told you guys in the chat, like, yeah, I was looking for something off the 15-minute if it could hold up, but it didn't. But doesn't really mean anything. All right. Now, the 5-minute gap, we don't have anything on the 5-minute. But yeah, no. Well, we have something now for sure. But there was nothing here. In my opinion, if you measure this out, it's kind of nothing here on the 5-minute. But the 15-minute did have something. All right. Now, coming into market open, we are getting a lot of selling. All right. Now, during the London session, which was maybe around 3 in the morning, 3 in the morning or so, we created a beautiful fair value gap right here that I kind of want to go ahead and inverse kind of about now. So let me start writing the alert just in case. Let me see. And by the way, hopefully you guys are having a beautiful start to the week. But yeah, anyways, okay, let me kind of get this ready just in case. I kind of do like the downside. We do have room for lower into the London low at pretty much like the 800s. And the selling pressure today is absolutely insane. So I'm gonna see if I can catch something with you guys here. Yeah, I don't have much to really target, so I guess it'll just be these two levels. And then, okay, so if we're gonna take shorts today off this inverse, which is kind of the only thing that we have to work with, unless this 5-minute holds up, which we'll kind of like resort to in a little bit from now. For today, I'm gonna probably use like a 35-point stop loss if I do end up taking some shorts like this. It wouldn't look horrible. Now, I just wish with all the selling that we get, look, if we catch the right move with this type of volume over here, we're definitely gonna get more than 50 points. The thing is, I just don't have too much to really target to the downside all the way until 582, which I don't know if we can see today. That's kind of an unrealistic level. But who knows? Maybe we actually, it's not super unrealistic. It's only 200 points away. We've caught 200 plus point trades, so I'm gonna add that to the price target just in case. Yeah, but the selling today looks really, really crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like maybe really too crazy. But on the 5-minute, maybe we can work off something here, something like this, maybe. That would be a little bit better than an inverse. It would just give us like a better entry with more confirmations and just not as late as an entry. But let's see what we have. Let's see what we have to work with for sure. All right. Now, as to why we're selling off, I'm not too sure. I did see around that Trump was set to speak sometime at 10 a.m. today, but it's not even 10. So the market is just moving crazy just because, I guess. Unless you guys maybe have something to tell me as to why the market is selling off. But in terms of anything else, I don't really know. Anyways, let me go live here on YouTube, guys. Give me 1 second. What's up, YouTube, guys? What's going on, guys? What is going on? All right, let me go ahead and put out that I'm live on YouTube before I get started with this trade real quick. Give me 1 second. There's people asking in the chat if I'm going live. Yes, I am. There we go. And let me put it out over here. Give me 1 sec. There we go. All right. Hopefully we can get a really, really nice start to the week with this trade if we do end up catching it. But I am definitely more open to shorts as of right now. Yes, on the other hand, it's not really doing much. It does have the volume, but it's not really holding up anything. So we'll see how that goes. Now, like I said, if we can get more of a 5-minute retracement follow with a rejection, that would be beautiful. I would absolutely love to take shorts off of that. So it would look somewhat like this, but we have to see if it holds because we still have 1 minute or 2 minutes left into this candle. But it kind of seems like the market is just going all over the place right now. So we're kind of still developing a bias, but I am definitely leaning more towards bearish just because we took out more levels of liquidity to the upside than to the downside. All right, but let's see how this buying ends up holding up here. We'll see, because now we created a we went from a huge gap to now a very small gap, and I don't even think we're gonna hold it up just with all the buying pressure that's coming in, especially in the next minute or so, unless we get the most random sell-off here. But regardless, even if we can't trade off this one, I would still be open to taking the inverse off this if we end up kind of rejecting right back down. But guys, we are pumping and dumping 100 points left and right, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. Seems like Trump is not speaking publicly today. Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. So we're gonna see what we can work with. But in the meantime, guys, this market is crazy. Yeah, this gap is not gonna get held up. I'm gonna take it out. But yeah, I mean, if we want to break into new highs here, I mean, I guess we could do that as well. It's kind of hard to tell what the bias is when we have a very weak levels to work with. I mean, this level, it's a high, but it's not the craziest one either. So we're still kind of like developing a a a bias here. But like I said, I'm still leaning more towards bearish. But we gotta see what we do in the next few minutes. For sure. It kind of sucks that we filled this fair value gap in a blink of an eye. We were just down here a second ago. But we'll see. I mean, we have some time in the market. It literally just opened up like 20 minutes ago. So we can see what we can work with here. But anyways, there goes the setup. No, we have a setup here for sure down here. Now, it kind of does look like it's a little far away. And, you know, that's actually really true. I mean, it's almost 100 points away. But with the volume that we're getting today, honestly, it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. All we need is one really, really nice selling candle, just like how we got right over here. And we go right back down. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't be a huge deal. But in terms of forming setups today, with the volume that we have, it shouldn't really be a problem. Whether it's to the upside or to a downside, we could still catch something because the volume is just super, super crazy right now. But we'll see. We'll see how we kind of hold this up right now. Now, ES definitely looks a little bit stronger than NQ for today. But in terms of setups, I know we have something on the 15-minute right here. Let me kind of mark it out right here. Yeah, definitely have a gap here. So maybe we can use this like as like a plan B, I guess, if nothing comes up on NQ. But that's if we see upside. I'm kind of leaning more towards downside, but I just need a little bit more confirmation to actually confirm that, you know. Let's see. Someone said here, seems like we're sending off July 14th. What time is 2042? That's now, right? Or was that last night? I can't really tell like 24-hour time. Last night? Ah, okay, then yeah, no, it's definitely not it's not causing this for sure. Because that's something that would have happened like on the spot last night, you know, so it would have been like around here. And it didn't really react in the market. So yeah, I'm not too sure as to why the market is really going crazy like this today. Um but hopefully this volume stays alive like this because I actually loved these type of markets. But yeah, in the meantime, let me kind of mark this out real quick. So we had if I'm mistaken, just an external low right here. External deal sweep. Now ES is pushing up here way more than NQ is. And we do have a setup on ES. Would you guys be down to trade ES today? I mean, I do have a setup here because to the upside, I don't really have much to work with on NQ. So if NQ wants to go higher, I can't really work with anything here. So it might leave us stranded without a setup. But on ES, I have something to work with here. It's a pretty good price target as well. It's about 7 points. We typically risk about 6. So our first PT will be a little bit more than 1-to-1. All right, yeah. You guys are down for ES? All right, bet. So yeah, if ES remains strong, because ES is obviously the stronger one for today. I mean, we're breaking high of day and everything. Check this out right here, right? If you look at NQ, look at the difference, right? We have a bearish SMT on NQ. We have a bullish SMT on ES. All right, we're breaking new highs, and we can't break new highs here. So if ES is the leading one for today, and we have a lot of buying pressure kicking in, we could probably look to take an inverse off this 15-minute gap right over here. It's about a 11-point gap, right? No, about 10 points. So exactly a fair value gap, right? We can take a long position off this, look to target PT1 here, and maybe even all-time highs all the way up here. It's not, I don't know if we see all-time highs today, but we could definitely see some sort of an upside today, right? So I guess if we see upside today, guys, we can look to take ES. And if we see downside today, we can take NQ based off this 15-minute gap right down over here that we created last night. But the problem with this one is we have to sell off a lot. And by a lot, I mean about 85 points, which isn't anything crazy with this type of volume. But if it dies down, then it could definitely be an issue. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. But right now, in terms of finding like a bias, like I said, it's a little bit hard to really tell what we want to do, mainly because we don't really have too many levels to really work with. Now, you might be asking, okay, then what do you see on ES? Well, let's kind of go back a little bit, right? So if you guys look at the higher time frame, like the 30-minute time frame or even the 15-minute time frame, you guys will notice that we have a level over at 6,260. All right, this was a low that we created as the market was going up, right? So we have let's say that the trend starts here, right? We created this trend, we pushed up, we pulled back down, created a higher low, we pushed back up, created a higher high, pushed right back down, created a higher low once again, and then once again a new higher high right over here. So this right here is telling us that the trend is bullish on the higher time frame. All right, and as we're creating these higher lows, we're pretty much creating levels of liquidity, right? So we have a level of liquidity here, level of liquidity here, and a level of liquidity here. Now, what did we do last night during the London session? Well, if you zoom in right here, you guys will notice that NQ barely missed any of these levels of liquidity. So we didn't really take anything out on NQ, right? As to which pretty much makes sense as to why NQ isn't really going up when ES is going up a lot higher. All right, now if you go over to ES, you guys might notice that we have a level of liquidity here, and instead of unlike NQ, we ended up taking out the level of liquidity right over here. All right, so if you really zoom in, what we have here is our external low. We took it out, we swept it, and now we're creating new highs once again. All right, so what do we have right now? Well, we identified the trend on the higher time frame, which is bullish. We identified our liquidity, which we took out right here. We have identified the DOL sweep, and we have identified the MSS model, right? So currently, right, we have the main high, lower high, and what was lower high right here, right? Obviously, the whole reason as to why the market is going down is to take out the objective to the downside. Once the objective has been taken out, we swept it, and now we're currently holding back up. And now we went from creating lower highs and lower lows into now creating the main low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and new highs constantly, right? Confirming that the bias is bullish on ES. All right, now with everything being bullish, all we need to do now is kind of pay attention to the entry model. All right, so if we look at the 15-minute time frame, we have an entry model right over here. So if the buying pressure can really, really hold up on ES, we can look to take longs here. Now, if that's not going to be the case and our bias is going to lean more towards bearish or the market wants to go back down, don't worry, because obviously to a downside, we don't really have much to work with on ES, right? It's only to the upside. But if our bias ends up flipping to bearish and everything lines up bearish, we can always resort to NQ and look to take something off here, right? And we have a lot of downside opportunity because remember, guys, last night, ES took out the downside liquidity, but NQ never took anything out. In fact, we actually missed everything, right? By a tick, right? Which means that we still have room to go lower. All right, so we have both opportunities today. Whichever way the market wants to go, whichever way the market is stronger in, right? Whether it's to the upside or to the downside, as long as we can find our confirmations and as long as we can like stably hold that momentum and aggression, we can look to take either way or either or. All right, so yeah. Let me see. The same setup appears on ES for the shorts. Well, you got to keep in mind that ES already took out the downside liquidity. So ES might not be as interested to the downside as NQ might be. All right. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. The volume's dying out. Let me check on the 5-minute time frame. The momentum's kind of dying down a little bit, but does that mean that the volume's dying down? Maybe a little bit. Yeah. Now, like I said, I did get word that Trump was set to speak at 10 a.m. It's not going to be public though, so we can't really watch it on stream. But maybe in the next few minutes, just maybe we get a random spike in the market. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. There's a huge fair value gap right above the entry on ES. Yeah, there's this one. But remember, we have a price target right above it. So before we enter the fair value gap or on the untapped fair value gap, the remaining fair value gap that we have to fill, we have a price target. So if we take the longs, we could take our trim right here and then just worry about the fair value gap right after. Which obviously the buying pressure is really, really strong. We shouldn't really be worrying about it just because obviously the aggression is there, right? So what was once really, really weak, which was on Friday, right? Obviously, we're not really going to hold it up anymore if the buying pressure is very, very strong. But right now, from the looks of it, it kind of seems like we're kind of just sitting in the market. We're getting a little bit of selling, a little bit of buying here and there. But like I said, whatever tends to look stronger, we could definitely take because we just have setups in both ways. All right, guys. So we're just gonna see. All right. But yeah. In the meantime, it's kind of just waited out. We were very close to getting a setup here, but the market just had a very unexpected bounce here. I don't know why, but yeah. In the meantime, we're just kind of, it just kind of seems like we're just sitting here. Maybe we can create something on the 5 minute that we can take instead, but kind of, I'm not gonna say I doubt it, but the market is just gonna, it's probably gonna sit around this range for some time. Now, the one thing I ask for from NQ or from the market in general is just don't start chopping up. There's no way we go from a super volatile market. In fact, one of the most volatile markets that, or opens that we've seen in maybe like the last month to chop. All right, I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll see. Only time can really tell here. In the meantime, I guess it's kind of just wait for our setups to kind of form here. Now, if I'm being honest, it kind of seems like we're getting a little bit more of an SMT flip here. Not really. It's both NQ and ES kind of looking the same. Yeah. All right, let's see. So apparently Trump is set to speak starting now, but you guys know typically Trump is always late. So we're probably not going to see something for the next few minutes, maybe even an hour. Who knows? But let's see. Let's see. Are you feeling? Oh, bro, I'm feeling way better, bro. Feeling way better. Just made a higher high. Nah, not yet. I mean, well, yeah, obviously that's when we had the SMT flip here, or not the flip, the just the SMT in general, when we had the highs here. But yeah, see if we can get some selling to come in. Oh, and by the way, did let me know in the chat, guys. Would you guys want me to do more of the streams like yesterday? I don't know if many of you guys tuned in. I think about like what, like 200 people tuned in or something, maybe 150 or so. But no, I had a lot of fun with it yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. Please, I got you guys. I got you guys. I was I was thinking about doing it every weekend, but I don't know if maybe every weekend is maybe too much. Maybe every 2 weeks or so. You know, every weekend to kind of get you guys like a good warm up to the week. To give away some accounts and all that good stuff. Price is crazy. Yeah, bro. It kind of encourages people to actually like look at it and pay attention. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'll be saying one thing a million and one times, and people still ask the same question. You know what I mean? So it'll get people to really wake up and pay attention. You know what I mean? Now that there's like prizes and everything behind it. So yeah. Let me see. Blast, look at my chart. It's hella different from yours, and I don't have the gap that you're looking at on NQ. You need to make sure that, because on TradingView there's an option where it kind of like averages out the contracts, so it will be under BADG, kind of like the contract adjusting. But if I turn it, I don't want to turn it off because it's gonna ruin all my levels. But it should be like an option like this. We're also charting M and Q. Yeah, maybe that's the case, but I'm sure that the gap will still exist, right? Yeah, it will still be there either way. Um, so that's weird. For sure. Is the price the same though? Is the price kind of following along? Yeah, the price looked the same in terms of levels and everything. Yeah, 850. That's weird. Maybe it's a platform that you're using that's just not like giving you the right just different patterns. Okay, that's a little weird. Maybe it's a platform that you're using because I haven't seen that one, unless that's Rhythmic or something, right? It looks like Rhythmic. Let me see. Hey guys, what you? Bro, no way, bro. Dude, I'm hoping for the best, man. Fuck. Bro, let us know how it goes, bro. I'm praying for the best, dude. That's your G. Looking out for everyone's growth and trading, keep away from the cons. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, dude. Yeah, I'm wishing for the best, bro. Like actually. Um, David, why do you swap from ES to NQ all the time? What do you check for? I typically check to see if both of them are aligned. All right. Now, if you're in the class that I did yesterday, or last night, I kind of explained to you guys as to why it's important to pay attention to both, right? Because you don't want to be trading, let's say for example, right? NQ is bearish. You don't want to be trading NQ shorts when ES is going up. Why exactly? Because there are days where ES might be the leading index, and if ES is going up, it might slow the selling down on NQ or maybe even reverse it out of nowhere. All right, that's known as an SMT divergence, right? And it can really stop you out of, like I said, out of nowhere. All right, so we don't want that. We don't want that. So when we're trading either ES or NQ, we want to be making sure that the other, I'm gonna say other party or other index is following along. Because if it's doing the complete opposite, it's a 50-50 chance where one or the other could take the lead and take the control and have more strength and really make the other one kind of just reverse out of nowhere. And we don't want that. All right. So if you guys see me like constantly looking back and forth like this and like this and like this, you want to be making sure that both of these are aligned. For example, today, right? If we're looking at NQ, NQ is the weaker one or was the weaker one. Why exactly? Look at the 5-minute time frame compared to the two, right? Or comparing the two, right? On NQ, we have a bearish SMT, right? We're not breaking any highs. We're actually, you know what I mean? We're failing to break highs, right? So we have the main high up here from today's open, and we have the lower high right over here. If you look at ES, we have the main high off open and we have a higher high, right? Giving us a bullish SMT here. All right. So you want to be making sure that these two are typically following each other at all times. All right. Because if they're not, then, you know what I mean? It's not going to be, you know what I mean? It's not going to be very fun on our side. You know what I mean? Let me see. Is there somewhere I can go to do so I can do the point conversion from NQ to ES? I'd like to know. I would like to trade ES over NQ since I don't know what the difference is. Yeah. Search up on Google. Just search up the futures calculator and just compare the stop loss, right? So on, let's say for example on NQ, a 30-point stop loss is typically about, depending on your sizing, let's say $400, right? What I've come to notice is if you want about a $400 stop loss on both of them, on NQ if you're doing 7 contracts, that's 30 points. On ES if you're doing about a 5 to 6 point stop loss, that's 20 contracts to risk about $400. All right. So keep that in mind. So yeah, use those websites and just compare it to it by using the stop loss. But from what I've noticed, if you're gonna be sizing 10 on NQ, do 20 on ES. If you're gonna be doing about 7 on NQ, do about 15 on ES, and you should be making about the same amount of money. All right. Oh, and someone else sent the money, not the money, the screenshot over in the chat. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. Now, looking at the chart, guys, I'm not gonna lie, it is getting a little slow. Maybe not in terms of volume, but in terms of momentum, it is dying down a little bit. So hopefully that's not the case for the entire day today. And hopefully we can catch some sort of a move here because I really want to give you guys a setup. But we don't have too much to work with. I mean, there's no gaps anywhere nearby, and we're not really pushing any higher or any lower for us to really like go through the setups that we currently have as well. So I'm really hoping that we see something soon. You know what I mean? Because now ES is really slowing down. It kind of seems like NQ is kind of picking up the SMT here, and it's gaining a little bit more strength to the upside. But that's gonna be the issue because if ES doesn't do anything, then we can't really take any upside setup until ES kind of catches up here. Because look at this, right? NQ is breaking the previous 15-minute candle high when ES is kind of a little bit far away from it. All right, but let me see. Um, yeah, no. 30-point stop loss. I said with 7 contracts is about $400. Keep that in mind. With 10 contracts is different. How the craziest open and the market just started dying out. Yeah, bro. I'm really curious as to why the market opened up like that. It's been the craziest open that we've had maybe in the last month or two. So yeah, just woke up. Nah, bro, you're good. You're good. You almost did. I'm gonna say that, but nah, we didn't get any sort of an entry or anything. So we're still waiting on something to form here. But yeah, the guys, the bad thing with NQ is if we don't form a 5-minute setup anywhere, we're 100 points away from both upside and downside setups. Because we have, and I wouldn't even take this either. This setup right here, I wouldn't take this setup either because, I mean, why would I take an inverse when the level of liquidity is 20, not even 20, 15 points away, and we already took out like 3 levels of liquidity to the upside. So this setup wouldn't even be a long setup either. So yeah, we're kind of stuck in the middle. The only thing that we can really work with is if we get a very unexpected sell off to a downside, or if we just push up and we just take it on NQ. I mean on ES. Yeah, but that's why we gapped down yesterday. I don't really think that's why we pushed up today. Um, it could be, but I'm pretty sure the market was already priced in with everything here. Oh, and by the way, guys, let me ask you guys, for my long-term investors in here, are any of you guys in? Because I'm sure you guys saw Bitcoin pushing through all-time highs once again throughout the weekend. And guys, for the people that were in or that are currently in BTCI with me, you guys, if you guys have been paying attention to a long-term investment channel, guys, we're very very close to breaking all-time highs, guys. Look at the daily time frame. We added around here, around the 58 range. This was my fill around here, guys. Look at where prices are right now. So, dude, like I said, like I keep saying, like I feel like I'm saying it every 2 days or so, guys. Um, the dividends for this month is gonna be insane, guys. You're in BTCI heavy, bro. Me too. I'm in about not as heavy as I want to be. But I think I'm pretty sure I'm like 20k deep into BTCI. I wish I could be about 50k deep, but I'm kind of like averaging in as we go. But guys, we're about to break all. Guys, we ended up adding around here. All right, so this is for my long-term investors or for the people that are in Bitcoin. All right, you're in 30k, dude. You're in more than me. I'm in 20k. But guys, if we could see all-time highs, bro, that would be insane, man. And hopefully we see it by the end of the month, which should be about like the 25th or so before we get paid out in dividends. Because the higher we go, the more money we make. All right, for that passive income. All right, but hopefully we can see some all-time highs. All right, should I buy, bro? Obviously, don't buy now. I mean, bro, you should have bought when we were getting in. You know what I mean? That's something that I've noticed a lot of you guys say. For example, when I gave you guys GBQ, guys, remember? Don't you guys remember? Right when we were all the way down here. Then I not tell you guys, keep adding, keep adding, keep adding, keep adding. It's the best time to add. You guys buy when the market is scared, right? When everyone sells, you buy. All right. And then, I have some people asking me in the DMs, yo, should I buy it now when we're all the way up here when we pretty much fully recovered the entire move? Obviously not. You know what I mean? You guys shouldn't be buying up here. You guys should be buying with the dips. All right. So we added on GPQ with the dip. We added on BTCI with the dip over here, and now is when we're getting rewarded. Obviously, if you guys are buying up here, you're probably not gonna get you're probably not gonna get rewarded at all, or just maybe a little bit. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you guys want to get in now, obviously with the whole hype up right now and everything, maybe just wait it out a little bit for the next dip. All right, I wouldn't really be buying as the market is recovering. All right. When do you think is a good time to get into SPY and QQQ for long term? Actually, and by the way, guys, while we wait for some setups here, I'm kind of getting a little bit sidetracked from futures more into the stock market. Um, but I've actually been dying to add a lot, about 50k into QQQI, which is the exact index for QQQ. But it's just for dividends. You guys know I'm a long-term dividend investor. I'm not really too much of a growth investor, right? Oh, I am. I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds because I invest into dividends that don't really have too much of a NAV erosion. So yeah, I've been dying to add into this one, QQQI, but I'm kind of waiting for a dip in the market, maybe some sort of a news dip in terms of tariffs, or maybe some sort of a recession somewhere. Typically those are the best ones that really make the market sell off. As you guys know, the whole reason as to why we sold off like this and how we got into GPQ, about 100k into GPQ right down here, which is what I added. I waited for the market for Trump to say something about tariffs. The market reacted very bearish. I added here, and now we're currently recovering. All right, which is why I kind of added right over here, over at like the 46 range, which should be around here. All right, but yeah. Anyways, let me go back to NQ real quick. Someone here asked, let me kind of check up here quick. Hold up, go over here real quick. We're kind of selling off a little bit. Maybe that's the move that we want to see. Let me see. Someone here said, how would you know? Wait, let me see. Hold on. Let me kind of catch up with everything because I'm sure there's a lot of good questions here. Okay. Um, Yeah, we hit all-time highs on Bitcoin, 123k. Maybe we can continue going up. Maybe we pause for some time. I mean, it has to die down a little bit, you know. Let me see. How would you know the amount of money we should get started with your long-term callouts? There's no suggested amount, bro. I mean, it's the sooner you start, the better. Remember, this is for your future. You know what I mean? So the sooner you start, whether it's $100, which it's probably not much, but it can get you started for sure. Maybe a few thousand. Oh, who knows? It's whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, let me see. How do dividends work? So okay, so for the people that are probably wondering, and by the way, we just flipped this candle from red to green very very fast. Anyways, guys, what pretty much what dividends is, guys, is think about it like a real estate investment. I'm sure you guys know what real estate is, right? Pretty much what it is, or for dividends is, you invest into a company and you pretty much get paid passively for holding the stock, right? So you're adding your risk, but you're getting paid. So every single month, depending on how the company performs, typically what the way they make money is, you pretty much invest into call options, strategy ETFs, right? So let's say, for example, you want to invest into a Bitcoin ETF. You could do BTCI. If you want to do something for the Nasdaq, you could do QQQI. If you want to do something for AI, there's an AI index that follows all of the AI stocks like Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, which is AIPI, which I'm currently in as well. Right. With this one, I ended up adding somewhere around here, about the around the 41 range, so around here. Right. So in this one, I'm not up super crazy, but I'm still up on it, which I'll take. But pretty much what it is, guys, is you find a sector that you like, whether it's crypto, Bitcoin, Nasdaq, ES. You could do SPYI as well, and you pretty much add on to these, and they're gonna do as SPY or whatever thing you're in. As it goes up, that company that you're investing into, they're making money from selling call option strategies. All right. And when they make money at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month or whatever it is, right? It could be the beginning, middle, end of the month, or just a random day. They'll send you a payment depending on how many shares you're holding. So, for example, right, this last month, so last month was June, right? We're in July, right? Yeah, we're in July. All right. So, for the last month, right? Last month I ended up making about I ended up making about $2,600 in pure passive income. I didn't lift a single finger off my phone. Why? Because I'm holding onto these four investments. I mean, GBQ. I was an MSTY. I got out of it. I don't really like it that much, but I ended up getting paid about almost $700 for the month. I got into AIPI about almost $500, and for BTCI, I ended up getting paid $500 for that month alone for simply just holding the stock. I didn't do a single thing. All I did was my research. I added onto my risk by obviously adding into the investment, and going forward, I just get paid every month. And not only it's not only counting the passive income, but if you guys get a very very good ad, you guys can definitely get paid as well by the capital gains, right? As the stock goes up, you also make money from the value of the growth of the stock, which is pretty much how I'm getting paid currently. Right now, my portfolio is at, I think, 129,000. It went up $1,000 from when I posted this, but you guys get the point, right? So I'm pretty much a kind of small growth investor and more of a dividends investor. All right, but I've been telling you guys this for the last few months, like add on the dips, add on the dips, add on the dips. Some people listened, or a good amount of people listened. You guys should be making a ton of money from it. But yeah, all right. So now you guys get how it works, right? You just get paid passively every single month, depending on how the stock is performing. If you do your research right, obviously, and all that good stuff, you should be good. All right. What do you think about SCHD? I've heard good about it. I don't think they pay that well though. I know it is very secure though. Do you ever borrow against the stock you own? No, I don't. I think you're talking about a margin call. No, I don't. I just put my own money into it. I don't really like doing margin calls like that. What platform do I use? I do Weeble. I do Weeble. You can do Robinhood as well, or any long term like Thinkorswim, Robinhood, whatever it is. Let me see. What's wrong with Roth? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. What's your position in AIPI? I'm currently in about, I think I added 15,000. Yeah, I'm currently up right now. If I'm not mistaken, I'm up pretty much almost like $1,000 exactly on AIPI in pure profit. And I'm in about $15,000 in AIPI. So a month I'm making about $500 passively in passive income every single month from AIPI. Yeah, about $450 or $460 on AIPI every single month from a $15,000 investment. And then obviously the stock is also growing, so I'm also up about $1,000 on the investment itself. All right, but this is pretty much my portfolio. These are my currently top three holdings, and I really, really want to add into QQQI. This is my favorite one so far. It's just obviously I'm not going to be adding on all-time highs. That's not what I do. I want to add. I want to wait for the dip. All right, so I'm not sure why this is not loading here, but you guys get the point. All right. But anyways, let me catch up with the chat in the meantime while we wait. ES currently is kind of pumping up here, so hopefully we're able to see some sort of a push up here. But I might move my eyes or lay my eyes more over on ES. All right. David, do you know anything about Trump coins? I know one thing, bro, and one thing only. I wouldn't touch those, not even with a 20-foot pole, bro. I no matter what big no not Bitcoin, no matter what meme coin I hear about, I don't care about the hype or anything, guys. I will never put a single penny into meme coins. Dude, I've never seen for every 1 millionaire that you see online, there's like a million other losers, guys. But obviously, within the crypto space or in the stock market space or anything in the trading space, you obviously only see the winners, guys. It's why these really famous people are only showing only wins. You know what I mean? You don't like MSTY that much. It's not that it's a bad thing. It pays the most in terms of dividends, but obviously, guys, remember there's NAV erosion. The more that stock pays, the less value the stock itself has, right? So as time goes on, you might be making a lot of money from the dividends, but it won't really. It will kind of average out if the entire value of the stock is going down. Why exactly? Remember, guys. So the way dividends works, guys. Look at this. Look at MSTY. Look at the daily time frame, right? It's steadily going down, right? Why exactly? Because it's eroding. The value of the stock is eroding. Why? Because, guys, look, for example, let's say you add it onto MSTY, right? And now MSTY is currently it's paying $2 every single month. Every single month when they pay dividends, as you're getting paid $2 for every share that you're holding, but that also means that $2 is going to get subtracted from the stock itself, right? So for the month, if they can't outperform that $2 that they're paying every single month, and they're going up like $1 every single month, you're gonna be down $1 from your actual investment. Why? Because of the NAV erosion. All right. So when you're getting paid $2 for your dividends per share, the stock is going down $2 in the stock price as well, or in the share price. All right. So for me, I don't really like this idea for long term. I don't like to really think about my long term investments every single day, like MSCY, for example. So I'm in something more like GPQ, where they pay you a really reasonable amount, which will be like maybe 50 cents per share, depending on how much you're holding. It will subtract the stock. So, for example, they pay dividends on, let's say, for example, they paid on the third, right? Right here, right? So check this out, right? So they paid on the first of the month, right? GPQ pays every first to fourth of the month. So in this case, it was the first, right? Notice how they paid about 40, 50, I think it was 55 cents per share. Look at this. It went down 55 cents, right? So as long as you're getting paid, they have to subtract that money from what they made from the stock itself, from the ETF, and they pay it over to you. But as long as the stock is able to kind of recover this right back up, you're good, right? You're good long term. You don't have to worry about the NAV eroding the ETF. All right. But with MSTY, for example, the reason people like it so much is because you're getting paid a lot in dividends, but you got to look at it long term. Will you really make that much money because the value of the stock is really going down? It's eroding. All right. So that's one thing that you guys need to pay attention to when you guys are investing into dividends. All right. By the way, let me lock in again because ES is kind of ripping up here. And it's actually approaching this 15-minute gap here that we kind of wanted to inverse. So let's see what we can work with here. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna leave my eyes more on ES here in the meantime. Just because I don't really like anything on NQ to the upside. All right. So I'm gonna catch up with the chat in just a second, but let me kind of type this up again. Yeah, as long as the buying pressure can really hold up here, hopefully Trump is saying something that's making the market go up. But we'll see. We'll see. It's really only a matter of time till we get the news to come out publicly. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, what I want to see here, guys, once again, is I want to go ahead and inverse this 15-minute gap that we created right over here. And I want to go ahead and target the next 15-minute gap that we also created right above, or the 5-minute gap instead. All right, so keep that in mind. There's a 5-minute gap right over here that we could inverse. And if the buying pressure looks good, if we inverse this gap right over here, we should be able to target 3.6, 3.12, right, which is what I want to see. All right, so we'll see how this ends up holding up. Blast is retiring early. I don't know, bro. I feel like I would have to be making like maybe. I feel like okay. Look, if I were to retire for myself, if I'm able to make about 5 to 6,000 a month in passive income, I'll retire. Right now, I'm currently averaging out maybe like 2.5, maybe like 2.2 to 2.5, depending on how they perform per month. So I have a very long way to go. And keep in mind, guys, I'm invested about 115,000, and I'm not only averaging, I mean, but I'm averaging 2.2k around there, like on average around there. So you would imagine for that much, over 6 figures invested, you'll be making more. But keep in mind, you're not doing any work at all. All right, so it's like a paycheck every month for kind of just doing nothing. You can focus on your other businesses while that's working for you overnight. All right, so I like to think about it like that. So for now, pretty much my long term investments kind of just pays off for my bills, like my car bill, the jet ski that I got, and all that stuff. It just pays for that. You know what I mean? And then the rest of the money that I make from the business, I kind of just save it and invest it back into into everything. But yeah, bro, I before I get to that retirement stage, hopefully I can retire sooner than later. Um, but it would have to be about 6K passively. Like I'll be happy with 5K, but 6K will really put me at like a comfortable range where I don't have to lift a finger. So that's currently what I'm working for right now, guys. So every single penny that I make from all my businesses from trading, it's all going back into that. I'm trying to build up that goal, and then I'm really done. Right. So that's kind of when I when I get off trading, or maybe when I take it a little bit easier. Let me see. No, David, that's not what I meant. Do you borrow against the stock you own so you can avoid paying taxes? Oh no, I haven't really learned that tax strategy yet. I want to learn it, but someone that does know about it is Krabby. He's really good with taxes. Wait, so you make money on things like GPQ without even selling it? Yeah, exactly. You get paid every single month straight into your bank account. If you guys look right here, check this out. Right, so last month I made 2.66K off passive income, not the growth income, right? And I have yet to withdraw it, but currently I have $2,400 just sitting on my account that I need to withdraw and put it into my bank account, or maybe I just reinvest it. I don't know. But I typically just put this money into a savings account just to have something to kind of fall back on. You never know what can happen. God forbid, but you never know, right? So it's always good to kind of have something there just working for you, right? So yeah, in fact, I might just withdraw this. This is the money that I made off the month for the investments, the long term investments off the dividends. So I kind of have to withdraw this. So yeah, just so you guys know, and there's what is it, proof in the pudding or something? I think that's the saying, something like that. You guys get what I'm saying. Let me catch up with the chat because I have a lot to catch up with. Let me see. Definitely reinvest. Oh yeah, 100%. The thing is, the reason I haven't reinvested in anything right now is because, guys, I'm not trying to add anything at all time highs, bro. That's definitely not something I'm trying to do. I hate adding all time highs. It's like the stupidest thing ever. How many calls do I use for ES? I do 20. Typically on NQ, I do 10. I do 20 on ES. So kind of just double your sizing. Ever look into TSLY? I think that one has a huge nav erosion. If I'm not mistaken, if you look at the daily time frame, it's from yield max. So yeah, guys, anything with yield max, I feel like they pay too much in dividends and it just doesn't have the ETF survive long term. So if you look at the daily time frame, look at this, guys. Huge nav erosion. Look at this. Definitely not something I'm trying to get into. You know what I mean? Remember, I want something that could survive long term, not short term. I don't really care about the short term. That's for day trading, right? We're day trading the futures, right? We're not trying to day trade our long term investments. All right. So yeah, definitely not into this one. All right. Remember, I want something that's not yield max. And I want something that kind of can really hold, for the years to come, right? So I can obviously afford a comfortable, I can kind of just lay back and be comfortable without really having to work as much. Can MSTY survive long term? Bro, honestly, I kind of have. It's not like 100% chance that it's gonna erode to zero, but it's more on like the 60-40 range. 60% being I think it's not gonna really hold, and a 40% chance that I can really hold as long as Bitcoin is going up, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So I don't really know too much about MSTY, but I mean I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Remember, you guys have to do your research when you guys are investing long term. You're putting a lot of money into that, and you're really relying on that company to do well. All right, so do your research on that. All right, guys. Anyways, back to futures. Let's see what we have to kind of work with here. So far, I mean, we're kind of still sitting in this range. We're kind of shooting up. We're going down. We're going up. Kind of chopping up a little bit here, but in terms of a setup, it's not much here. And Q on the other hand, kind of not really gonna hold up this gap either way. Yeah, we kind of still have to wait it out a little bit. MSCY will roll to $8? Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. But yeah, now we're getting a little bit of selling. In fact, we're getting a lot of selling, not even a little bit. So maybe Trump is saying something that the market does not like in terms of, and which is why we're kind of selling off here. Maybe we can get a setup forming soon to the downside. We have a 5-minute 40-point gap here. So let's see. Let me check up on Twitter real quick. Let me see what news we have to come out because we are actually selling off a lot here. Yeah, in terms of news, we don't have anything coming out. Unless maybe he's typing it up now, but we don't have anything. Let me see. The US Treasury 30-year yields further move away, blah blah blah. Not really too important. Tesla shares, nope, not important either. Oh, wait, right here. But this was an hour ago. Brazil to ask US for tariff reduction to 30%. Damn, what are they at right now then? But yeah, in terms of news, as to why we're selling off, I'm not really seeing anything crazy here. I kind of just put this here just so you guys can see what's going on. Yeah, maybe we can work. Maybe we can work with something here off the 5 minute. Yeah, no, I guess it's kind of more like a random sell off here. I mean, although it is a very very nice sell off, maybe we can work. I'm really hoping that we can hold maybe the 30 in the 30s, like maybe 35, maybe in the next 3 seconds. Unexpected sell off. No, in the 40s. Okay, well, a second after we go down, but yeah, in terms of news, we don't have anything. I'm sure it would have been out already. Yeah, nothing here. Okay. So yeah, 50-point sell off, which is beautiful. If anything, guys, we could probably work with something here. We can get a DOL sweep off of this very weak internal, but it is something. And we could probably work with something to a downside instead. On NQ, which is something I want to do for sure. Yeah, look at that. Very, very nice selling candle here. So as long as the selling aggression holds, we can definitely work with a retracement into the gap here. And we could probably get shorts into the New York low right down here, which will be marked like this. As long as this 5 minute holds. Now, if the market continues to chop, maybe we wait it out, or maybe we just come back later today during the PM session if it looks cleaner. So we have a New York low DOL. And let me kind of edit this level a little bit so it looks a little bit cleaner for you guys. Since we kind of already swept the high, we'll just put it here as a internal high DOL sweep. There you go. Just so the level's not in the way of the gap. But yeah, let's see. How much do we have on ES for the 5 minute? It should be 10 points. 10 points. Yeah, actually, exactly 10 points. Now, as long as we're able to hold down this gap, we should be good for a pretty nice setup to kind of form here. What I would want to see, guys, is for this count to kind of close here. We get a retracement to the gap, preferably the midpoint. We get a 35-point rejection, just because today's a little bit more volatile than usual. Or maybe we could do 30 points, just because the volume is kind of dying down. But we could do more of like a 30-point rejection. We take shorts, and we could just target this low right here, and then we could just target these 3 lows instead. All right, instead of targeting all the way down into the 500s, which is not what we want. So yeah, maybe something that looks like this into lower like that. All right, and maybe into this one. This could be like a nice trading point, because if we take like shorts here, yeah, 42 points wouldn't be bad. Now, hopefully we're able to afford a retracement. I know we're getting a little bit of selling, more selling than buying, of course, but we'll see. Because so far we are kind of selling off. Nothing super crazy yet. Nothing like, like out of the ordinary, but. But yeah. All right, let's see. So yeah, let me go back to I have to retype the alert. It's just I'm just not super confident in terms of a DOL sweep. I know we got one right now, and it's kind of confirmed right now as long as we're holding below this low. But it's just this low isn't really. I mean, this high isn't really convincing me too much. I mean, we could definitely still get the move, but the problem is here, guys, is looking at the market open today. It's kind of all over the place. Hold on, I'm drinking some water. And the reason I'm saying this is mainly because It's just we're getting buying, selling, buying, selling. So if we do get a short position off this, I would want to make sure that we're as bearish as possible. And right now, obviously, we're not really super bullish nor super bearish. So it's kind of hard to really get a very, very confident trade. I like the way it looks, but it could definitely be better. Right? We've had better setups for sure. I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying it's a possibility where it can get a little bit messy for quite some time, just because the volume is we're still trading inside of this range right over here, right? This range above the high. I mean, around the high and around the low. But who knows? I mean, the selling could step up. I believe Trump is still speaking, which is why the market is selling off. But in the meantime, it's kind of just wait and see. And hopefully you get the sell off that we want to see off of the fair value gap projection, not just randomly. Hmm. The hell? Can I just type this? What? There we go. I'll kind of put this like in the middle, the center, just so we know what we're looking for. Actually, I don't really have to type this. I'm sure you guys know, just so it doesn't look like a mess. Anyways, okay, the 5-minute candle actually ended up opening up here, so we didn't get an unexpected sell-off. So all we're looking for now, guys, is let's see if we can retrace into preferably the midpoint of the gap, followed with, I want to say, a 30-point rejection, just because the volume is dying down. We can enter shorts and just target these 4 lows right here. It doesn't look bad. I just... My bad, I had a yawn here. It's just it could definitely look better though. But this is kind of all we have to work with to the downside here. And we have ES and NQ kind of aligning now, which is also a good sign as well. We don't have any SMT divergences or anywhere. That's even a word, divergences. On ES or NQ, this is NQ. Remember, guys, I always tell you guys, if you guys are ever wondering what I'm looking at, look at the price. If it's over 10,000, it's NQ. If it's under 10,000, it's ES. 20,000 is like a magnet on NQ. Well, I hope so. I hope so. Well, the volume is a little bit iffy, so we'll see how that goes. But remember, all I'm looking for right now is to see if we can get some sort of a retracement into this gap. ES is kind of looking a little bit closer to that gap, but it still hasn't hit either way. And then I'm looking for a 30-point rejection, which should be, let's say we reject off the midpoint. 30 points should be around here. We should enter about pretty much at the low, pretty much. And we just enter off that. We just target PT 1, 2, 3, and 4 below, and that's it. That'd be the game time for today. Bro, the game on live was fun yesterday. Yeah, bro, I want to do them a lot more, bro. It's just I don't have all the money in the world to be giving out a few $100s every weekend. You know what I mean? Am I NQ? Yes. I just told you, bro. I'm on NQ. Remember, guys, if it's above 10,000 on the price, it's NQ. If it's below 10,000, it's ES. All right, so if you look at ES, it's under 10,000 on the price. And actually, ES is about to retrace into the gap. It just did. So let's see what we can get over here on NQ. Hopefully, we don't get a random push up here to the point where the setup gets ruined. Because if it does, I might just come back during the PM session. Because this it just won't be tradable. But now that ES is inside of the gap, hopefully we don't reject instantly because NQ has to catch up. You know what I mean? It has a little bit more points to go. Maybe like 6 more points before we retrace into the fair value gap here. But let's see. Remember, ES is already rejecting from it. So we need NQ to kind of catch up. Like I said, I want to see the midpoint get retraced into. I don't want to see any lower. But if it has to be, then so be it. Look, ES did what we want to see, the midpoint retracement, right? But NQ, we need it to go up just 10 more points, man. Oh, that's all I need. A 10-point push up, and I'm happy with it. And then we can get an entry. Let me delete this so I don't confuse anyone. I don't know. We're kind of just sitting there. Just hoping. See? Yeah. All right, we're getting a little bit of push up. We still need that 10-point push up though. All right, let's see. We're about to tap into the gap. I mean, we kind of tapped into it, but I would want a little bit higher. There we go. Okay, now we're in. All right, so now it's pretty much just whenever you get a 30-point rejection, it's kind of just enter off that. All right, so I'm gonna kind of just like move it around here, so it would look somewhat like this, about 30 points. So I would probably enter off the low break. I feel like this would be enough. And we just put like a stop loss like around here. So I would probably just enter off a green to red flip into this candle low right here, just so we can make sure that we're creating new lows constantly, and we can just look to enter and target all of these lows below like this. So about 145 points. Or 43, but 45 if you round it up. But let's see how this gap ends up holding up. Like I said, guys, if this gap gets inverse, I might just call it and come back during the PM session, just because there's not much to really work with either way for the morning. But if this setup does end up working out and we break past this low right here, I'll probably look to take some NQ shorts. All right, guys. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, let's see. This next candle opened up. We should probably see a little bit higher into the gap. I would say it's pretty safe to say. But if we do end up getting a rejection, like just like how ES is doing, we already retraced to the fair value gap. If we break past this low right over here, I would be interested in just entering and just placing my stop loss at 30 points at the fair value gap. I feel like that'll be a little bit better. Let me put this over in the corner real quick, just so everyone can see what type of level this is. And kind of put the top and then the right. There you go. So deal will sweep. All right. So keep in mind, guys, I would, like I said, just for the people that, maybe you guys are confused, we're kind of just looking for a rejection into this low before we enter. And as long as ES can really hold above this, below this midpoint, we should be good for a selling candle soon, I would say, unless we just completely invalidate the setup. But if everything gets respected, the setup should look pretty good at best. Not the best looking setup, of course, just because of the DOL, it's just not the strongest one. But in terms of everything else, it definitely looks pretty good. But let's see. Like I said, I want to see this midpoint get hit on NQ. Yes, it's kind of still sitting at the midpoint. Let's see. Price is kind of moving a little bit here. I see on Tradeovate. But in the meantime, let me catch up with the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Wait, someone's calling me. All right. They both updated MNQ. They never got updated. It's the same one as always. It's MNQU5. And it's okay, guys. We're getting a little bit of buying pressure here. Like I said, if this gap doesn't hold, I might just come back during the PM session, just because we probably won't have a setup to really work with anytime soon. But we're still inside the gap, so we can still get a rejection anywhere. But if this gap ends up getting inverse, I might just come back during the PM session when a better setup forms, or I might just stay on just for a little bit more chatting with you guys. What do you guys want? Yeah, there's the inverse. And kind of just seems like the market is just sitting in a range. Nah, it's not really that buyers are hanging around because I mean they're kind of just there. It's just the market is just sitting in it's sitting in between this range right here. So we're getting buying and selling all over the place, which is also good that we're not entering because obviously we don't want to get stuck in this mess right here. Um, but yeah, no, this setup definitely gonna avoid it just for now. I don't really I didn't even like it in the first place with the well I did like it, but I just didn't like this DOL that we had here. So if anything, maybe we seek higher into the internal above and we take that out. Because remember, guys, we can still sell off. ES is still bearish. Or kind of bearish. I mean, we're still inside of the gap here. It's just NQ kind of inversed it. We could probably still take shorts from it. As long as ES can hold, we can use that as an indication. It's just like I said, I don't want to get stuck in this mess right here. This price right here when we're getting random buying, random selling, random buying, random selling. I'm not trying to deal with that. You know, so it's probably better if I kind of just avoid this one and just wait for a better looking one. What is this? Do the same thing every day. Make sure you have your TradeAvate linked or your Apex linked to your TradingView. But yeah, we can still reject off this gap, guys. And the main reason I'm saying we can still reject from it is just maybe we kind of just waked it. But look at ES, guys. ES is kind of holding NQ from going any higher. It's really holding down this gap here. Although NQ is kind of breaking new highs. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna take the setup, but it doesn't really mean that we're gonna inverse it. All right. But yeah, just so you guys know, ES is still holding this bearish rally gap, and it's kind of actually trying to sell off here. So maybe if we get a strong selling candle, maybe I might be interested in shorts if the selling looks really good. But for now, I'm not gonna touch this price. I don't like it. I'm trying to be as cautious as possible. I don't want to be starting off the week with a red trade. Yeah, no, we're kind of pushing up here. So either way, it's kind of the market is still kind of like a mess here. So in terms of a setup, guys, we had one, it just didn't hold, so we haven't entered anything just yet. Let's go for that high. Maybe maybe we do take out this high. Who knows? Yeah, ES just finished inversing the bearish rally gap that it was, obviously it was holding. Um, but yeah, honestly, guys, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, maybe a PM session might be a little bit better for today. It's just we don't have much to work with this AM session. Like we've had a few setups here and there, but they're just not getting as respected as they should be. Wouldn't want to take the highs on ES still off this inverse as an early entry. The only long position I would take off because remember I wouldn't take an inverse here. Remember, first of all, the market is really messy right now. Like I said, we've been sitting in a range for some time now, almost since open, and it's already about to be 11. We don't have a DOL sweep anywhere for an inverse. Although the trend is kind of leaning more towards bullish, maybe on the higher time frame, right? We're not breaking any lows anywhere. If that's the case, if the buying pressure looks really good, maybe we could take something off the 15-minute right here. But anything here, I am not going to be touching. I'm trying to be a little bit cautious here with the setups. I'm not really trying to get caught up in anything here for sure. I don't want to force anything out in this type of price. So if you guys want to take the inverse there, I mean, whatever floats your boat, but I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Not off this setup right here. It doesn't look good at all. For an inverse, at least. Do you think it would be a range bound to CPI tomorrow? Maybe during the PM session that could be the case. Maybe the market does slow down before CPI. But for the AM session, I wasn't really expecting much, especially with the way that we opened up today. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting chop to really happen. But I mean, only a matter of time. Remember, guys, if we have to stay cash, then so be it. You know what I mean? If there's nothing to really trade, then it's better than being red. You know. But in the meantime, it's kind of just wait it out and see. For a minute BPR, I don't really trade the BPR like that either. It's just even if we did get a BPR, I wouldn't really take anything with this type of volume either way. It looks really, really messy. Isn't the 15-minute, 30-minute, and 1 hour all showing bearish? Not really, because we keep breaking new highs constantly. We're not really making any new lows, and we are making new highs, so it is showing bullish more. Remember, let's say for example the trend starts here, main low, higher low, higher low, higher low, main high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. All right, so yeah, it is really showing bullish. But remember, if you want to take something into longs, we probably can't anymore because we took out a level of liquidity already, which is one of the objectives, and we also have another liquidity right around the corner, another one here, and another one here. So there's not much, you know what I mean? There's not much. David, my PA drawdown is $800. How many contracts do you think I should trade if I'm following your trades? Do about five. Do about five until you see a little bit more of a cushion on your account. Then do seven, and then just stick to seven. It's rejected. Like I said, but we're kind of just in a range. We're not doing much. It's not much I really like here. Currently doing 3 contracts. Yeah, but with 3 contracts, if you're trying to build that buffer back up, bro, it's gonna take a very very long time. I will tell you. I got a DM him. Check it. How much drawdown do you have on the new accounts that I have? I still have these accounts sitting at 52,000, and the other ones I have them sitting at 67,000. They were at 70, but I did request to send that over in the announcement channel. Damn, I just take Ashley. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, it won't be the end of the world. Trust me. And I'm pretty sure maybe I know I'm saying that maybe we come back during the PM session. It'll be a little bit better, but we have CPI tomorrow, so it'll probably just chop out until then. So guys, once again, if we don't get a trade today, don't really be too surprised. It's not gonna be the end of the world, but now you guys know, you know. Let me see. Someone said here, David, did you have a mentor or did you learn on your own? No, I never really paid for a mentor. I had friends that really gave me a hand. I mean, like you know, what I mean, we help each other. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the closest thing I got to a mentor. And for the people wondering, it was with Krabby. Um, but yeah, no, I never really paid. I didn't have guys. Remember, I started at 15 years old. I never really had the money to pay for a mentor. Um, but yeah, bro, chill. You alerted for decrypt? Yeah, I alerted for T trades. I know you guys know T trades. For the people that actually like charting, you guys know T trades. I used to be really really good friends with T trades when I first started. Then I moved over to I found Krabi. We became good friends. Then he put me on with Decrypt, which I'm sure some of you guys know. And then from Decrypt, I started my own server. I kind of grew it, kind of learned some mistakes. It kind of fell off for a little bit. Then I found out about RP. I reached out. I became good friends with him. Not so much of friends, more of like a business partner. And ever since then, I'm here. All right, so I've had some stuff in my career. All right, David, why is our bias bearish? Oh, I never said the bias was bearish. Well, not anymore, at least. Not anymore. The bias was bearish at first because we were selling off. We were holding below the DOL and we had a bearish rally gap. But right now we didn't even hold the gap and we're holding above the level of liquidity. So I'm kind of like a neutral bias. I'm just waiting to see what we have to trade. So far it's kind of nothing. So we're just waiting on it. Do we trade CPI? We do. Yes. How long did it wait? How much long? Oh, well, I was about to say, like, was I reading it wrong? Uh I'm assuming you meant to say how long did it take you to build the buffer when you first started to trade with the PAs? I've had these accounts for a few months now. And then the other 10, I've kind of had them just sitting there. So I haven't bought an account in a while. Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you. I don't like to say that, bro. I mean, I, I don't know. I just kind of just show what I do. You know. I already said it, Ali. Can you explain what drawdown is? Drawdown is the amount of money that you can lose on the account. So if you have $5,000 with the drawdown, that's how much money you have left to lose if you lose it. Isn't it a good idea to long into the London low? How can you long into a London low? And off what setup? I mean, I'm sure you meant off the London high, right? If so, I mean, there's not much of a setup. Whichever direction you kind of meant. Yeah, don't worry. Hi, yeah. I would love to. I really would, but we just don't have a setup either way. I mean, there's not much, and I don't just do these random pullback entries. That kind of makes no sense. Obviously, I need an entry model with my strategy. Because how do you know that that one pullback is gonna be enough? I mean, someone here in the premium chat said, hello, I can't connect my TradeView account to TradingView, and it's weird because I can connect it on the TradingView website with the same credentials. Okay, so Fleer, that's your name. You sent this message, yeah, literally right now, actually. I'm assuming you're in the trading VC. If you are, I'm gonna answer for you, and this goes for anyone else. All right, guys, go to TradeView, click Settings, top right, then click Add-ons, and make sure you have TradingView activated. Then you go over to TradingView, click Trading Panel, and you just link it. You click Demo and you log in. That's it. Pretty simple. But it's activated. Okay, then go over to TradingView, click Trading Panel, click TradeView, log in with your Apex details, and just click Demo and click you click it, and that's it. Let me catch up with the chat while we wait for a setup here. Now, do we have a either way? This gap isn't really gonna hold either way. Okay, let me kind of okay, I have a good question here. Or someone asked, it seems like a good question. David, I'm struggling to pass my first eval. Any advice for me? I'm only risking $100. There. I'm not even look, I'm not even gonna finish reading your sentence. That's all I need to know. You're risking too little. I'm assuming you're risking either you're sizing normally and you have a very, very, very tight stop loss to the point where one little pullback and you're out of the game, or maybe you're sizing too little to the point where you're not making any progress. All right. So, in my opinion, bro, make sure you have a set stop loss about 25 to 30 points. I wouldn't really do 25. I'll stick more to 30 to 35 point range. Risk a little bit more, but you could definitely make a lot more. All right. And size, I'm assuming you're on a 50K account. If you're on a 50K account, just do about 10. If you're on evals, do 10 micros, and on a PA account, do 7. That's what I do, and I pretty much pass them a good amount of times. All right, so yeah, that's all I need to know. You're risking $100. That's way too little on these accounts. Remember, bro, you're not really trading with your money, so you can risk a lot more. You know what I mean? It won't be the end of the world. All right, if you don't risk much, then you're not gonna make any progress. All right, bro. For the long-term investing, to enter into the stock, should we enter off pullbacks? Yeah, I don't really trade fair value gaps for long-term. Fair value gaps don't really, it doesn't really trade into your retirement. So yeah, I just do like really, really big pullbacks. My strategy is buy when people are fearing, right? And obviously when people are greedy, that's when you sell because that's when the market is all at its highs. All right, you guys remember for the terrorists, right? When the terrorists came out, the fear was at practically 2. And now we're pretty much at greed. All right. So yeah, the markets are back, you know. Wait, let me finish reading it, in fact. Hold up, because someone said something about a win rate. Per each trade pair, I have a very bad win rate. Balance just keeps going down. So maybe it's not your sizing, it's more on the trades. So if anything, what you could do is okay. Look, if you don't have your win rate to kind of catch up with your balance to obviously continue making progress, dude, I know you might not want to hear this, but bro, try maybe not trading evals in the meantime. Obviously, practice a little bit more with some paper trading. Try to build a model and try to find your consistency behind the model. Once you start seeing a lot more progress, then that's when you could start spending money on accounts or maybe make your own account, a live account, whatever, and then you make money. All right. But right now, if you're not seeing results in terms of sizing, stop loss, risk management, win rate, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Maybe it's best if you go back to the drawing board and kind of just practice a little bit more with the paper trading account and then go back to a real account or a prop account, whatever it is. So keep that in mind. I don't really think the sizing, because remember, he said that he has a pretty bad win rate. So obviously, if your win rate is not good, whether your sizing is good and everything, I mean, maybe it won't really remain consistent. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, we're still getting bought up a little bit here. Not much I'm really seeing though. I mean, we are approaching two fair value gaps on both ES and NQ, so maybe we can get something there. But I probably wouldn't take longs on NQ because I mean, look, here's a problem. All right, do you guys remember the trade that we caught on Friday? All right, the trade that we caught on Friday was a beautiful setup. The problem is we took longs when we took out majority of the levels of liquidity to the upside. What ended up happening after? The buying interest died down, sellers gained aggression, and we got stopped out, unfortunately. All right, this is the same setup as Friday. We're going up, we look super bullish, we look like we want to go higher, right? Well, we have a setup right here that we can inverse. Should we inverse it? Probably not. Why? We took out this liquidity, we're probably going to take out this liquidity, and we're also probably going to take out this liquidity if we're going to inverse this up here, right? We're going against our readings, all right? So I probably wouldn't take longs off this. Instead, I might just take longs on ES and just target this instead. All right, that might be the better case. All right, because I'm not trying to do the same mistake that we caught on Friday, get chopped out, and you know what I mean, get stopped out as well. But yeah, are you going live for the PM session? If we see something, which I don't really think we might see anything for the PM session, just because we have CPI tomorrow. I know typically CPI is on Wednesday, but they did on a Tuesday this week. I don't know why, but I guess that's the case. You know what I mean? Trump is set to speak soon. It will go live. Didn't he just speak already at 10? Or is he doing another speech? And what is he speaking on? Because sometimes he just yaps about nothing. Ah, he didn't speak? Was he not supposed to speak at 10? Is that not why the markets were going crazy a second ago? I could be wrong, but I guess. I mean, can you send me the source as to probably late as usual? Yeah, the 1 hour late. Yeah, it's not anything new. He spoke with Russia at 10 closed door meetings. Okay, we're kind of pushing up here a little bit though, to be fair. We're about to take out this next internal high liquidity. Oh, there you go. So we took that out. Like I said, I don't really want to wait a minute. Okay. Like I said, I didn't want to chase longs off this inverse, but I don't know. I don't know. We might get a setup forming very, very soon. White House Gov. All right, let me check that out. Hold up. /live. All right, let me see if Trump is set to speak soon. Apparently, it's set to be live. Oh yeah, let me see. President Trump participates in a meeting. I'm assuming this is NATO is Russia, right, or something like that, right? Something with war, right? No. What's NATO? Nah, I'm tripping. Hold on, hold on. Oh, us? Yo, hold on, bro. Yo, yeah, you guys already know, bro. I'm not. What is this? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, bro. Yo, I'm tripping, bro. I'm tripping. But now, on a on a real note, maybe we can form something here now that we took out this level of liquidity. Um, I'll let you guys know. Maybe we have something for me soon. Bro. Bro, I promise you, when the whole Ukraine and Russia thing was happening, I kept hearing this word NATO, so I thought it was something with war or something. Anyways, bro. No, bro. Anyways, now we're pushing up quite a bit here. So if anything, maybe we can get a setup over here on ES to the upside if the buying continues. Um, NQ is looking a little bit stronger than ES for sure. So if anything, maybe we could take it longs here. I just don't want to get caught up with the same setup that we caught up on Friday. I know that one could have worked and everything, but I don't want that to happen again. I'll see how we react off this fair value gap. Oh, good. I remember in high school, people asked me if I was I wouldn't know what the difference was. Dude, can I be honest with you, bro? I don't know what the difference is either, bro. I really don't. Like, dude, I'll be on TikTok, and my TikTok isn't anything like political ever, but like I'll get like these videos every now and then. And I saw this one video, this dude's mom falling like on a water slide, and he's like, I felt sorry until I figured out she was a Trump supporter. Like, bro, who gives a fuck, bro? You know what I mean? Like now that's weird, bro. You know what I mean? But that's something that those people struggle with. I couldn't really care less. No. No, we are pumping up like crazy. Okay, hold on. I might get a long setup here on NQ instead, because ES is kind of just sitting there. You know, whatever. It's not really catching up that much. But NQ, on the other hand, we're kind of about an inverse gap above, and we don't have anything stopping us until all-time highs. Which honestly, it doesn't look horrible. It really doesn't. We don't have any gaps here, right? No, we inverse this one. We inverse this one. We haven't inversed this one, which is the only one to the upside. So maybe we can get a setup going. You know the video I'm talking about? It was like some mom at like a water park, and she got hit with the wall or something. It wasn't anything crazy, but like, bro, dude, imagine hating your own mom just because she likes Trump or something. I'm like, dude, who gives a shit? I'm not trying to get political though. I don't really care. We have a 15-minute cap above. No, we don't. If you're talking about this one, we already filled it. Yeah, we already inversed this one. Keep that in mind. And then we filled this one. We filled this one as well. Yeah, we filled it right here. But yeah, we'll see what we can get depending on whichever direction looks strong. Because keep in mind, we did take out liquidity. Maybe we can inverse this one as well. It won't look so bad. I'm not trying to get married to any bias or anything or any setup. I'm trying to trade with what the market gives me. No way, bro. Hi, Keithrin. That's your name? Yeah, Keithrin. That's definitely your name. Um, I'm honestly really torn. I never thought I would even be considering going on dates with someone who voted that bro. I really like you, and I felt like we had good chemistry. I'm just very worried about how our values would align. And honestly, there's probably a lot of conservative Christian women like. Wait, you're a girl or you're a guy? Wait, and honestly, there's probably a lot more. Oh no, not like I read it wrong. My bad. Wait, and honestly, there's probably a lot of conservative Christian women you might like more. I think if we were to go out again, I would really. Is that about you? Like about like your what is it? Your political views or something? Dude, honestly, bro, don't even feel bad, bro. You probably dodged a bullet, bro. Oh, reader? Nah, bro. I'm just taking my time so I can really understand the story, bro. You know what I mean? But dude, honestly, bro, if that's about like whoever you voted, bro, dude, you are good, bro. You are good. Let me tell you, you are more than chilling, bro. Trust. Hopefully, hopefully, then you didn't spend too much money and energy on her, bro. Because, dude, imagine her saying, "Oh, I loved hold on, cause I'm taking an alert. Oh, I loved our energy and like you're like the most handsome man ever and blah 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 blah. But I don't like you because you voted for this guy. Who cares, bro? Who cares, bro? Dude, Trump doesn't even know she exists, bro, or whoever she's voting for, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying, bro? That's so stupid, bro. What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? Yeah, you definitely dodged the bullet for sure. If you like drama, no, hell no, bro. Lock in, bro. Lock in. Anyways, guys, we're kind of pushing up here a little bit. So, wait, Trump is set to speak soon as well, so we gotta be careful with that. Anyways, yeah, good thing we didn't take anything on ES. We're not looking to take anything on ES because this thing is kind of just sitting there. It's kind of slow as hell right now. Bro, me? What did I do, bro? 6-1. I don't know. A lot of you guys keep telling me about a fair value gap at 6-1. There's nothing at 6-1. Maybe the 5 minute? Oh, yeah. But this is right out at our price target. So it shouldn't really be something that we should be too worried about either way. That's even if we get longs. I'm still trying to see which direction is stronger in the market, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. Because remember, guys, we could still reject off this gap here, and we already sweep most liquidity to the upside. So if anything, we can wait for 5 minutes, and if we get strong selling, we can look to inverse this instead. Um, that depends on the aggression. If we want to go higher into all-time highs, so be it. You know what I mean? But if we do want to end up inversing, I mean, sweeping this and inversing the, I mean, not inversing, rejecting off the gap, we can definitely take this as well. As long as the volume is there, as well is what we need. Let me delete this real quick. So we size down because in Trump, yeah, maybe that might be the best case. Yeah, so far we are sweeping this level. And in fact, we swept it to the tick, which is amazing. How's that, bro? Amazing, bro. Love it. Make your pay first date, my fellas. Bro. Looking for shorts confirmation. Yeah, shorts is definitely looking a lot better. I don't really want to chase longs up here. If the setup is there, then I'll probably consider it at best. But shorts would be amazing. We have a fair value gap projection. We have buyers losing interest. We have sellers stepping in on the 5 minute time frame, and we have an internal or New York high. The will sweep follow with an internal off these two levels right over here. So if you're getting enough selling into this 15 minute inverse, not bad. Not bad. It wouldn't be horrible. Yeah, can we take them? Yeah, we definitely can. We definitely can. I would like this short setup a lot more. Not only do we have a lot more room for lower, but I just don't want to be really chasing longs. I mean, look what happened on Friday, you know? So we'll see. But this candle needs to close in the next 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure this gap is probably more than likely going to hold unless Trump literally says something right now to the point where we sell off. But I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, Trump is live. Let me check it out. Give me one sec. Let me open up the White House live. And yeah, he's actually speaking. Okay. Check this out, guys. So he's speaking to, I'm assuming, I don't know who this is, but I guess it's important. Hopefully he says something very, very important. All right, let me see. In the meantime, I'm not really gonna be paying attention to this. Honestly, I would just react with whatever the market does. But someone here said, Blas, what, in your opinion, what was a mistake on Friday if there was a mistake? Good point, or good question, not good point. I would say on Friday, pretty much what we ended up seeing was this. All right, so looking at the alert from Friday, right, it looked beautiful. We had the MSS model, we saw liquidity, we had a bullish bias, we had everything. But what was the one mistake? We missed our entry from longs here. We hit our objective, and we from all the buying coming in, we chased longs. We already hit the drawn liquidity, and we had all of the reason in the world to go right back down. Why? Because we already hit the objective. But me kind of getting a little bit of FOMO from missing this setup right here, which would have resulted in over 100 points. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can get longs later today with this setup instead. But we had a level of liquidity right inside of the fair value gap, which we took out, and we later then sweeped it. Right? It's a normal thing to do. Look at this. Right? We got faked out a little bit here. The buying exhaustion came in and went right back down. We held below the level of liquidity, and ever since then we went right back down for the entire day. All right, so that was the mistake from Friday, and I am not trying to make that mistake today. All right, so we have the same exact setup right here, right? Same fair value gap, same level of liquidity. We took it out, and now we're going back down. All right, so I don't really want to be chasing longs, which if it works out, if the buying pressure is there, as long as the buying pressure is there, we could definitely take it. The one of the issues that we had with the last trade is the buying pressure was not there. It was very, very, very slow. All right. But yeah, as well, there was also a 15-minute gap that we also rejected from on the last trade, which was this one, actually, right? Was it this one? When did we take that trade? On Friday. So it was this one right here. We rejected off. Yeah, actually, right here. So we'll see. Dude, what's the point of texting the president, bro? Dude, yo, imagine you text him like, I'm not gonna say, bro. This is gonna be cringe. Anyways, yeah, I know Trump is speaking. I know. We'll see how the market reacts. I don't know if it's gonna be anything major. It's not. I don't know if it's anything on tariffs because right now tariffs is what the market is really paying attention to. All right, let's see. Next candle opened up. The 15-minute candle closed. So now if we do end up selling off and we get a nice selling candle, we could probably look to inverse gap instead. Now, like I said, I'm kind of like a 50. I have a 50-50 opinion on this gap. I'll only take it if the buying pressure looks extremely strong. If we're gonna chop up like this on the 5-minute time frame, no, I will not take the setup even if it does work out. I do not care because I'm not trying to make the same mistake that we made on Friday where the buying pressure was really slow. We took out liquidity and we chased and we got stopped out. All right, so I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to do something like this where we have yet to see downside today. We can get a trend flip here off this DOL, followed with a fair value gap projection, and the strong selling comes in. We could look to take an inverse here. All right, but in the meantime, it's just wait it out because right now we're kind of chopping up here. Let's see, we're getting a little bit of buying on the 5-minute. How many points is this? Probably like what, like 20? Not even 15 points. No. I'm really hoping we could sell off and reject right back down. I really want to see the setup. This one I like way more. So much more opportunity behind it. And it looks way better as well. Guys, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. Give me a second. All right, but I'm back. I am back. All right. All right, this candle's holding red, which is what we want to see, actually. So let's see if we can sell off. Should I speak? Yeah, we know. David might be a mouth breather. Nah, bro, I'm not. Let me catch up with the chat. David, so this is the same thing with the 5 minute fair value gap at 10.25 that we didn't take longs because we took out key levels that could have potentially been inverse. The fair value gap at the 5 minute fair value gap at 10.25. Oh yeah, we didn't take this out. Yeah, exactly. We didn't take out any major key levels to the downside, so we didn't really have an idea of where the market wanted to go. So we just didn't take anything. That's not a valid setup in my eyes. Okay, right here is more of a valid setup. We took out liquidity. We're trying to reject off this fair value gap. We're overbought. We have room for downside. We can inverse this gap instead. I like it. I like it. It's just, can we get selling is the question. Bro, hold him in the pocket, bro. Do you guys know the card? What is it? It's like that champion, the bandit one, bro. Dude, something I wonder with some of these game companies, like, how do you ever think of an idea like that and you're like, oh yeah, let's add into the game. Let's add into the game. Like, bro, are you stupid? Same thing with the firecracker, bro. Ah, dumbass card, bro. Like, you can't beat them, bro. You really can't. I use her with log bait. Yeah, bro, you're getting banned. But get the hell out of here, bro. Come on, bro. Nah, bro. Like, come on, nothing, bro. You're using two of like the worst things in the game, bro. Log bait with that. What is it called? The what's her name? The bandit. It's something bad. It's like that champion, bro. Like, dude, that's stupid as hell, bro. No, not the golden knight. No, it's the bandit. The boss bandit. That one. Expo is the only reasonable deck in the game. All right, you're getting banned as well. Nah, I do Hog Cycle. 2.8 Lock Cycle. That's my favorite, bro. I've been using that deck since quarantine. So what, like 5 years now? I've been trading it. I mean, not trading it, using it. My bad, playing with it. Furnace plus Witch. Now with the Witch Evo, dude, that thing is crazy, bro. Dude, Evo Witch is OP as hell. It's one of the most OP Evos in the game. I'm gonna wait till she gets her nerf. Recruit, bro. Dude, yo, apparently everyone here plays the game. Plays the game, bro. Sneaky golem, yeah. You gotta tap into sports betting. Nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good off that, bro. I'm good. That's something I will do more for fun. Is this something you guys do for fun, or do you guys actually like, yeah, for fun? Yeah, that's what it is. There's people that actually make it a career. Guys, I don't really think there's like a secret to sports betting because I know some people that sell like courses and they're like, guys, we have a 100% hit rate with all these sports because we know everything and we study the graphs. Well, it's just a guy playing basketball, bro. Anything can happen. He can get injured in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Dude. The thing is now with the whole sports betting scene getting really, really, really well known, rigging it is more bound to happen. You know what I mean? It's definitely more bound to happen. Um, I don't really sports bet, bro. I don't like if I were to bet on anything, it'll probably be on like a UFC fight. That's about it, bro. That's kind of all that really entertains me. I don't care about basketball. I don't care about soccer. I definitely don't care about football. I don't really watch it. Um, but yeah. What about this 5 minute for Valley Gap? I don't think this is a 5 minute gap. I could be wrong. It's mostly a wick. Yeah, no. Don't trade this one. Either way, even if it was a gap and we inverse it, we're gonna go straight down to the 15-minute. Now, guys, one thing that I really hate that I've seen my friends do, bro, is like I don't know if it's a pet peeve. I don't know if it's just me, but bro, it's like okay, for example, the World Cup, right? I have friends that have never watched soccer a day in their life, and out of nowhere, the second the World Cup starts, they're all of a sudden the biggest soccer fan in the world. That's all they talk about. And the second it ends, never mention soccer again. Bro, that's you. Come on now, bro. Nah, but like in general, it's kind of like I guess living with the hype. I mean, like, bro, if you don't watch it, bro, just I guess you can watch it, but like, don't act like the biggest fan in the world, bro. That's you, bro. Nah, I guess it could be fun though, but like, I don't know. Yeah, sports betting is definitely a way to get more into sports for sure. It'll get you like more engaged, I would say. It's still not something I will do. Like I said, the only thing I really watch is UFC fights. That's about it. I'm not really too interested in anything else. UFC is hella fun to bet on. Yeah, bro. Nah, UFC is fun. It's fun. I like it. Maybe I don't like the fights in general, but I mean, anytime there's a fight, I don't know. I'm sure all of you guys do the same thing, or most of you guys do the same thing. I don't know about you guys, but bro, I go to like the sports bars, bro, with all my friends, and I just chill there, bro. I don't really do that for basketball or anything. Maybe that's why I don't like it. Cause yeah, casinos or maybe sports bars. Anywhere you can like watch and bet on it. It's pretty fun. For example, on Friday, last Friday, right? Yeah, this Friday that just passed. There was a fight with two girls at the UFC, and it was pretty good, honestly. I would have never imagined that girl fights are good. If anything, they're better than the guy fights. Like they actually know what they're doing. Put up to horse racing? Hell no, bro. Dude, sometimes the girls fights on cards are better than the main events. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. That shit will get you hooked real quick, bro. Anyways, we're getting a little bit of an SMT here while ES is trying to push up here, NQ is trying to push down, which we need NQ to push down here because we have a gap that we need to inverse so we can take shorts here, which is what we want to see. And apparently with Trump speaking, the market is not really reacting how we want to see it react. We want more, you know what I mean? We definitely want to see more, but I want to see something like this. All the way to down into this New York low right down here. Now it's only a matter of time to just wait. Nah, I've never been a fan of WWE. I've never seen the hype around it. Let me see. You don't talk to women, bro. Me too, bro. Me too. Do you ever golf? Nah, bro. That shit looks boring as hell, bro. And look, no hate to anyone. I just don't like it myself. In fact, I'm not really one to really play sports or anything. I guess, bro, with golf, I guess the way I think about it is it's very little movement. Like, bro, you stay still, you hit a ball, and that's about it, you know? Is it when you're hitting good shots? I guess, yeah. I don't know if golf is easy. I do think golf is easy to get good at. Cause, dude, I went to I'm sure you guys know what Top Golf is, right? You guys have it over there. I'm sure where you guys live, bro. I went over there and there's like these like 7-year-olds hitting like, dude, the ball was literally going over the fence, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, I was trying to hit the ball and I kept missing, but that shit was embarrassing as hell, bro. I just stopped playing at that point. No. It's not even easy to hit the ball with no direction, dude. They were hitting like sniper shots, bro. You hear that shit? Like, dude, I was looking beside me. I'm like, yo, No way, bro. And they're like 9 years old, like max, maybe like 12 years old. And let me see, golf comes with age, bro. As soon as you hit 30, you'll love it. I know that part. I know that part. Don't worry. But look, bro, I've always thought about it. If a 12-year-old could do it, so can I. You know what I mean? Yes. What is it? I'm assuming it's ripping, right? Oof. Oh yeah, we have a huge SMT here. Okay, now we really gotta be really picky on which one we want to take, because obviously if ES wants to go higher, it's gonna go into the liquidity because it's about an inverse 15-minute gap. But NQ on the other hand, it has a reasonable setup with a sweep followed with probably a fair value gap projection into an inverse. So wow, okay, we have to be very picky here because ES is literally about an inverse gap here. Oof. Now this is not a position I want to be in, because now it's picking which one is the better looking one. Obviously, right now, ES looks way better than NQ for sure, right? Because obviously it has a lot more buying volume. But it's like we have two different setups. I hate when this happens, guys. I really, really do hate it. Is this a signal? I'll give the market a few more minutes. All right, now, guys. Okay, what I'm gonna say is if NQ can kind of push up back to green and hold above this New York high, I would look to take longs on ES. All right, now if NQ struggles, it might lead ES lower, and I might just take ES longs instead. I hate when I have these type of situations, guys, because it's picking between one or the other. It's really hard because you know what I mean. One is showing weakness and the other one is showing strength. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just wait and see. I would say. But we'll see. If ES looks good enough, then fuck it. I'll just take it. But then I'll just take it with a lighter size, and if it looks better, then and now we're selling off. Whatever. I don't know what Trump is saying, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm still trying to decide which one looks better in terms of strength. Whichever one looks better first, I guess I'll just take that instead with a lighter size, just because it's going to be a little bit riskier. You know, with the other ones being kind of like an SMT divergence. All right. You guys see what I mean, though, right? I mean, yes, it's trying to hold up, trying to inverse the gap, while NQ is holding down after a DOL sweep, trying to inverse the gap below. So, like, this is like the biggest SMT I've probably seen in like the history of my career, bro. Like the most confusing one, at least, or the trickiest one. I think that's the right word. Because look at this. I mean, this is about to get a red to green flip into an inverse, into liquidity to the upside. Because remember, guys, ES has not taken out a single level of liquidity to the upside, right? So it has a reason to go up. Now on NQ, it has taken out every single nearby level of liquidity to the upside, so it has a reason to go down. Bro, I hate this market, man. I really do hate this market. But like I said, whichever one looks better first, I guess I'll just take it off that. So if it's NQ shorts, then it's NQ shorts. If it's ES longs, then it's ES longs. All right, whichever one just holds and flips, I guess I will just take it off that. I really want to take NQ though. NQ looks so much better, and I'm obviously an NQ trader. I just like NQ a lot more. But if we have to do ES just because the buying pressure is coming in really, really aggressive, so be it. Right? Let me see how many points these candles are moving. 7 points. Yeah, so it's not even that bad. It's really not. I'm really, really hoping, praying that NQ can really shoot down here because I love the setup so much more than ES. Although ES looks really good just because it has room for higher and it hasn't taken out any levels of liquidity. It's just NQ has, you know, NQ's our baby. You know what I mean? We trade NQ a lot more. We have more confirmations and it just looks so much better. All right, it's just hard to tell when one is pushing up and one is pushing down. Okay, so there's a setup longs or shorts. We're still debating on it. Whichever one looks stronger, because remember, we have an S&T divergence, right? So ES is looking stronger while NQ is looking weaker. All right, so whichever one looks better, obviously, I'll let you guys know the second I see it, the second I like something that I really, the second I see something that I really, really like, I'll let you guys know. All right, but so far, it's kind of really hard to tell here because NQ, as much as we want it to sell off, it's kind of just holding there, while ES, on the other hand, is breaking past new highs. Right, so if ES is going to be the leading one, then although NQ is the weaker one, it could just sit there while ES goes up and does his job. Just enter in both and see what happens. Bro, you're going to get stuffed out on both, in fact. But yeah, so far, I'm really, really hoping that we break some candle lows down here on ES so we can get that confirmation that sellers are a little bit more stronger on NQ so we can take those shorts, because I really want to take these shorts, or these shorts right here. Blowing hot as air. All right, bro. All right, there it is. We're breaking the lows. Okay, so hopefully sellers are the ones that are stepping in here. Really, really hoping for it because I really want to take shorts off on NQ. I like this setup so much more. But come on, NQ, bro. We need the sellers to really pick up here. We need that. We need it. We need it. Because I'll be open. Like I said, I'll be open to longs. I just want shorts so much more. Because remember, one is stronger, one is weaker. All right. So for those wondering, like, yo, what the hell are we taking? We're still kind of debating on it. Whichever one looks more aggressive at the moment, we'll just take it off that. All right. But right now, in the 5-minute time frame, we're kind of chopping up on both ES and NQ, if I'm not mistaken. ES kind of just sitting there. I mean, ES kind of looking stronger. NQ, on the other hand, is kind of looking really weak here. So we're definitely getting some buyer exhaustion here. It's just, can we break the lows? We need sellers to step in after buyers are out of the picture, right? Because if not, we're just going to chop up and just do nothing. All right. So, yeah. I don't like to see this, bro. Back to green on ES. And NQ is pumping up here. Guys, longs might be the idea here. This is, we're not selling off. We're trying to, but the selling pressure is just nowhere to be found while ES is just pushing up and breaking new highs. Yeah, NQ is kind of pumping here. If we hold above 21.50, then I might just take ES longs. In the meantime, let me fix my OBS to make sure that it looks good on ES. So we'll trade MES. Let me kind of fix this over here real quick. Yeah, just so you guys can see when I buy and sell. And if anything, I'll just switch it over back to NQ in the meantime, if anything. It's just, guys, look at this, right? ES is pushing up, breaking past new highs, or trying to break past new highs. While NQ is just sitting there and not really getting the selling that we want to see. So it's really a race against who does it first. Depending on whoever does it first, I guess we'll just enter off that instead. And yeah, ES is literally one tick away from breaking past the highs. It was a second ago. Oh shit, I just hit myself. We're 2 ticks away from breaking past the high. And we're 1 point away from inversing the fair value gap. And we do have buying pressure kicking in pretty nice. Guys, as much as we want to take NQ, it's just we're just not getting any selling pressure anytime soon. I mean, the buying aggression is out of the picture, and it makes sense as to why we took out the liquidity and we're trying to sweep it. I mean, we're holding below it. It's just we're not getting that momentum that we need to really see downside. All right. And ES, on the other hand, is doing the literal opposite. We haven't taken out liquidity, we have room for higher, and the buy momentum is really there. Or at least it's more there than NQ. So, yeah, that might be the case, if anything. And I'm open to taking. I mean, the setup is there. I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. It's just I was kind of hoping that we could definitely take NQ because I just like the setup a lot more. But let's see. All right, we're getting some buying pressure here, so let's see if this can kick in and kind of hold above. All right. So yeah, guys, be ready. Make sure you have MESU5 marked out so you don't take the wrong contracts. And if we get a trade going, then yeah, we can definitely get something cooking up here. And then we could just target like 312, which is like what, like 7 points away. Yeah, 8.7, 8 points around there. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So that's a pretty good price target. A little more than a 1-to-1 for our first trims. So let me see if I can catch on some ES longs here. And then Q, on the other hand, just sitting there. It's kind of like, not doing much. So I kind of just want to wait to see if NQ can kind of get a push up here, just to see if ES can kind of lead it. But in the meantime, if we don't get a push above the gap, I just want to enter until we see something. So I'll let you guys know, obviously, when I'm in, or you guys can always look at the screen share and just see when I'm in or not. All right, but in the meantime, I'm more open to ES for now, just because it's looking a little better. Yeah, look, we're getting some buying pressure there. ES is about to break the highs. There we go. So I can find an entry here. Because it's kind of just sitting at the gap inverse thing. All right, I'm in longs here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and enter some NQ, not NQ, ES longs. All right, guys, so I ended up entering at 6,306. All right, 6,306. I'm going to give this a shot just because ES is looking a lot stronger than NQ is. And NQ is picking up on some buying here. All right, guys. So, yeah, I kind of do like it here. All right. Make sure everything is looking good. We do have room for higher. All that good stuff. ES longs, stop loss. Oh, yeah, let me place my stop loss all the way down. My stop loss is going to be placed at 6,299. All right, so 6,299 right over here. All right, so stop loss 6,299. Sell 20 stop. All right, let me alert this real quick. And let me alert this. Real quick, just like that. All right, there we go. Yeah, I want to see if the buying pressure can really hold up until 312. I'll be happy with that, which is about 6 points away. So pretty much a 1-to-1. Now we need to make sure that obviously buyers on NQ, they're not really there, but neither are the sellers. All right, and ES is the complete opposite. Sellers aren't really there, but the buyers are. All right, so if NQ can kind of push up here, ES should be able to push up 2 times as stronger, just because ES is the leading index. All right, so let's see what we can work with here. All right. I'm hoping this trade can really work out very, very soon, because I am getting very, very sleepy, bro. I'm very tired. So hopefully I can be one and done with this trade and just go on about my day. Now we are approaching lunch hour, so this trade, I know I want it to be fast and everything, but could be a little bit slow now that we're approaching lunch hour. All right, guys. So be ready for that. Be ready for that. All right. So if you guys have any topics in the chat to talk about, let me know. All right, guys. How do I repair? I gotta see the lineup. Let me check for you. Is there no? I didn't even know there was another UFC fight this weekend. Is it UFC? Let me see. This one isn't really as hyped up. I haven't really seen it too much online. Everything got fights. Oh shit! I didn't even notice. Or it's just not big ones. Is it weekends or is it Fridays? It's weekends, right? Saturdays? Oh, okay, okay. Anyways, let's see. Is Trump, by the way, guys, is Trump still speaking? Let me check. Because maybe he could say something while we're in the trade, which could be good or bad. Yeah, Trump is still speaking. The market isn't really reacting so much to what he's saying. So I'll see how that goes. Let me check up on NQ real quick. Let me make sure it's not really selling off here too much. Yeah, still kind of chopping here. I'm still gonna be open to the short setup if we see something during the PM session. Because this setup is actually still there. I'm not saying that it doesn't work out anymore or anything. I still do like it, but just in the meantime, I'm gonna focus more on ES for now. Just because I like it a lot more. Yeah, let me pay attention over to ES real quick. Supplying weapons. I don't really think that's gonna move the market too much, right? Someone did say that he was gonna speak on tariffs though. But I don't know, because I know something with Brazil that they wanted a decrease in or a reduction in tariffs into 30%. Maybe he talks about that. Who knows? So we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. As long as we can hold above this gap, we should be good. Don't tell me that NQ is gonna start selling off as soon as we enter ES longs here. As long as NQ doesn't break below this low, we should be good. But worst case, we can always look to take NQ shorts later in the PM session. I kind of do feel like this is going to be more of a pullback because this is kind of acting like a magnet at 312 here. It's a pretty clean level here. Yeah, no need to worry too much now. When you guys look for pullbacks, because we don't have any fair, at least for me, I don't really have any fair value gaps to really trade here to the downside. So it's kind of just take this 15-minute and just be done with it, you know? You mentioned China? China what? War or tariffs? Because if it's tariffs, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. At this point, you're ready for anything? I mean, yeah, that's a Trump market for you, bro. Trump is done. He's done speaking. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's what we need to know. Imagine he goes on his little on his app and he's like, "Oh, guys, tariffs, this, tariffs, that," because he's done that before. He's done that before. Was the futures market better when Biden was around? I've really only traded the Biden market when I did futures, so I wouldn't really know too much. But the Biden market was kind of like whatever. You know what I mean? Some days will be good, some days will be bad, some days will be super choppy, and that's about it. But we definitely wouldn't have these random spikes left and right every single day. That's something I can tell you. I'm check up on the Q. Yeah, it's kind of still sitting there. Don't think we're about no. Well, not on ES. NQ, I would never take longs on NQ. I mean, look at how it's kind of reacting here. Look at how it's kind of sitting. But on ES, we haven't taken out, in fact, any levels of liquidity to upside. So I'm kind of like looking to mainly target this 6,312 level off of this 15-minute inverse. Because look, zoom out, right? Go on the 15-minute time frame and look at ES compared to NQ, right? NQ took out on the 15-minute time frame. We had an internal here, and another New York high over here. We took out this high right here. We took out this high right here, and we took out this high right over here, right? But if you look at ES, we don't have any highs that we've taken out yet, right? So the draw still seems pretty clear, and the bias is pretty bullish. So what I'm waiting for is to see if we can inverse this fair value gap right over here, which we did, and we entered. And I'm trying to see if the buying pressure can continue to see if we can go ahead and target 312 so we can go ahead and take most profits out. About a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. But obviously right now the market is a little bit slow, so expect pullbacks here and there. It's pretty normal. All right, now as long as it doesn't get too slow to the point where it chops up into our stop loss, then we should be good. All right, NQ on the other hand is kind of picking up some buying pressure here. So let's see if ES can kind of flip here, because ES is kind of slowing down a little bit. Right, check this out, right? Look at the 5-minute, look at the 5-minute here. All right, but it's pretty much just a thing of a slow market. This is how it is. All right. Seems like a good retracement into the fair value gap. Well, we don't have a fair value gap from what I'm seeing anywhere. We do have one on NQ, which is one that I want to inverse as long as we get selling pressure, but we didn't get that at all, so I'm not really going to take the setup for now at least. But on ES, on the other hand, we don't have a fair value gap. Yeah, no, this is a 5-point candle, not much here. The 15-minute gap, not much either. Yeah, not much. So yeah, the one that we inverse right here is a pretty good one. I do like it for the entry. This is the market is a little slow, so we can definitely expect some drawdown here and there. As long as it, like I said, as long as it doesn't chop out into our stop loss, there's not much to really worry about. It's just a little slow, and it could just take some time. We've dealt with these slow markets before. It's kind of the same case every time. Looking like Friday's trade. The difference between this trade and Friday's trade is the one from Friday is we took out liquidity and we chased longs. With this one, we haven't taken out liquidity, and it kind of still seems like draw is higher into 312, which is what I want to trade into. So we waited for the buying pressure to kick in. NQ is kind of slowing down, and we have the inverse here. So it's just wait for the buying pressure to kick back in after the, a little bit of chop here, and then we go from there. All right, so that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So let's see if we can get a nice push up here into a red to green candle. And NQ, I kind of want to say I want to see NQ hold above 20,021, so just so we don't have that deal wall sweep confirmed, and we have both cases, wanting higher, maybe into the Asia high at 2348. All right, but in the meantime, it's kind of see how buyers step in. Obviously, it's a little bit slow, but if we're able to hold above this level of liquidity, ES should be able to break above this high and see 312 very, very soon. We just need to hold above this inverse first. In the meantime, it's just really, really slow. So it's probably going to sit around this range for some time. I'm just hoping it's not going to be one of these trades where it takes 3 hours to see one price target. How much is the risk on 7-point stop loss on ES? It's typically like a 35-point stop loss on NQ. Think about it like that. Shouldn't have slowed down because of lunch hour. That too, yeah. It could be definitely be a case. I guess I'm not really expecting much of a push in this market. It's probably gonna be like a slow grind up into the price target if we do end up seeing it. You got into minis instead of micros, dude. Trust me, that happened to me once on stream, bro. I lost $800 in the span of literally not even 2 seconds. And you guys were here to watch it. You guys were here to watch it. Because I remember I was trying to trade ES and I found a better setup on NQ. And instead of clicking on M and Q, I clicked NQ. and I entered 10 minis, bro. I promise you guys, the second I entered, I was instantly down 800. And the worst part is, the trade went green and hit the price target, and I had to get out, re-enter to make back that profit. So I was break even at the end of the day with a beautiful winning trade. It was, bro. That's the worst feeling in the world, bro. Trust me, bro. And it's embarrassing to me at least because that happened in front of everyone on stream. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Anyways, we're breaking some lows here, but we're still kind of like it's like just slow. It's just we're sitting here. NQ is not doing anything either. Nothing's really screaming bearish. It's just a little. I want to say a pullback or just the market slowing down. Like I said, we are approaching lunch hour, so seeing this price target all the way up here could take some time. Maybe like an hour, maybe 2 hours behind this trade. But if we have to hold it, I mean, if we make money behind it, fuck it. You know what I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't want to say that we should be reversing here. I mean, I don't really see as to why we haven't taken out any level of liquidity. We had the buying pressure. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like everything here. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna hold it. Is divergence just too big? No, not even. It's just the market is really slow here. Because look at NQ, it's just not doing anything. Now, if we do get stopped down on this one and NQ does end up selling off like crazy, I'm still open to this setup for the PM session. But for now, I just want to see upside. I mean, I don't really see why we won't see it for now. I mean, it's gonna be a pullback, maybe too much of a big pullback, but we'll see. We'll see how this ends up going. Yeah, dude, this trade's gonna be a long one, dude. Look at this chop. And unfortunately, I don't want to say that we're getting an SMT flip here, but ES obviously the only reason we took ES is because obviously it was a stronger one compared to NQ, but now it's getting weaker. Look at this. NQ is not really selling off; it's kind of holding up here, while ES is kind of just selling off a little bit. I don't really see as to why though. When ES is the more bullish one, is the one. The whole reason as to why the market is going up is mainly because of ES. So I really want to think that this is a pullback here, but the selling pressure is coming in a little bit stronger than I expected. I don't want to say this trade is looking like the trade from Friday though, because I know the mistakes I made on Friday and we didn't make them here. At least, yeah, no, we didn't take out any liquidity, so we definitely do have room for higher. It's just a matter of time till we see it. Hopefully, we don't see it after we hit the stop loss. If we do end up hitting it, maybe we pull back maybe too low to the downside. Could also be the case, but we'll see. Yeah, let's see if NQ can push up above 23.1. I mean 23.21. If we could do that, yes, should be good. But we just need to push a little bit more, like what, maybe less than 15 points. Yeah, 12 points to the upside. As long as we can hold above this level, we should be good. We'll remain bullish. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that kind of NQ is kind of getting the SMT flip here. It's kind of taking more of a lead here, which is not a bad thing either. As long as NQ can go up, ES should be able to hold. But let's see. This next kind of opened up. See if we can hold this above 21. Let me delete this so I don't confuse you guys. And Q wants slower now? Nah, it's just chopping. We don't really know what it wants here. That's the only issue. Because we know what ES wants. It's just really, really slow. But NQ on the other hand is just chopping up here like crazy. It's really hard to get a read here. So you can flip this candle to green and hold above it. Because as long look, I'll feel a lot more secure behind this trade as long because obviously it's choppy. It's kind of hard to tell what we're gonna do in the meantime. Obviously, we know where draw sits, but on NQ, I want to hold above 23.21 to really feel that security in the trade to make sure that we're bullish. Because guys, the whole reason as to why NQ is kind of holding down now or right now is because remember we took out the liquidity to the upside. Obviously, when we're taking out the liquidity to the upside, we're trying to get a DOL sweep. Right now, the DOL sweep will fail as long as the price is able to hold above the drawn liquidity after it's been taken out. So that's what I'm telling you guys. I want to see buyers try to step in on NQ a little bit, about what 10, 12 more points, and take out 23.21 or hold above 23.21. Once you're able to get that and maybe even get a 5-minute inverse right over here, or 15-minute inverse, we should be good for the long position to play out on ES. But in the meantime, it's kind of just waited out because it's really, really choppy and we just entered lunch hour. All right, so like I said, this trade could take some time, so be ready for it. Be ready for it. Check the 30-minute. I want NQ or ES. Yeah, ES doesn't have anything on the 30-minute. I'm assuming you're talking about NQ, right? Yes? Nah, I don't really see anything on ES. A 30-minute. I'm assuming you're talking about this gap, right? Something like that. But we'll see. NQ is just sitting there as well still. Yes, it's picking up a little bit of buying pressure, which is always a good sign. But we just need this to pick up a little bit. I just want to see 23.21. That's all I want to see. Running on Clash while we wait. I mean, bro. Once you see break even, I'll get on Clash. Yeah, but as long as you have your sell limits placed, you're good, bro. What do you guys think about merge tactics, dude? I have yet to play that shit, and I am not gonna play it, bro. That thing does not look like Clash Royale. Yo, I just had hella deja vu. Yo, chicken, I just read your message and I promise you, I know you sent that message before. Unless I'm tripping. The one that you just sent, this one. I'm not gonna read it out loud, but it's not really my problem. But this one, I promise you, I just got deja vu. Credit card make me. I don't know about that. Dude, it's a good idea to add another mini. One if NQ holds above. If you get buying pressure above the inverse once again, or if you break above this high, you could do that. It wouldn't be bad as long as the buying pressure looks good and it looks stable. Then yeah, I mean, if we're probably gonna see the price target, why not? It's up to you though. I wouldn't do it. I don't really add into positions like that. Once I get my first entry, that's it. Would it be okay to move your stop loss to the new swing low? I'm assuming you're talking about this one, right? The one over at 300. You can if you want to de-risk off the trade. It's really up to you. I'm gonna stick to my 6 point stop loss at 6,299. I feel like that's enough breathing room to really tell us what the market wants to do. But yeah, NQ. Yeah, dude, this trade's gonna take forever, man. We're not gonna hit any stop loss or TPs before the end of the day. Dude, I know. And to think that today's market was literally insane off open. I thought today's market was gonna be a 100, 200 point trade left and right off open. Look what it's coming to, bro. Oh man. Pass the market sometimes, you know what I mean? That's what we sign up for. David, my 25K PA got auto liquidated just now at 24K. I don't understand. It said due to the daily loss limit, but this is the only trade I've ever taken since Friday. Oh, but you probably hit the trading drawdown. Also, no, but yeah, you probably hit the trading drawdown. That's probably what it was. All right, can NQ please push up here? We need to see 21. A break above 21 is what we want to see. Break above 21. We're getting a nice amount of buying pressure here. What about to see break even on the trade? But I want to see 312. There's break even. NQ's kind of pushing up here quite a bit. Maybe not enough. Yeah, 15 points here. But we want to see 21. That's all we want to see. I don't care about the points behind the candles. I want to see NQ hold above 23.21 and possibly even inverse the fair value gap over at 23.32 on the 15-minute time frame. If we can inverse that, then that's it. That we're hitting those price targets. And I'm confident to say that. But obviously, we're going to take it step by step. First is hold above 23.21, then hold above 23.32 for the inverse, and then we just see the Asia high that we created last week on Thursday. So let's see. And with this volume, I'll probably take some skills early on. In the meantime, guys, by the way, if you guys have Clash Royale, I know a lot of you guys are asking. If you guys want, send me your links, and I'll go ahead and add you guys. Make it run it up. Well, in the meantime, I'll wait for this long ass trade to play out. If anything, I can play on my computer. I have it downloaded on my computer. Cause dude, this trade is gonna be boring as hell, bro. Dude, some of you guys, bro. Let me tell you guys, I've been playing Clash of Clans since 5th grade. I was on and off with it, bro. I've only reached like Town Hall. What's the black one? The Town Hall 9, I think. Dude, that game, you could literally play that game from since the day you were born till now, and you probably still won't be max, bro. All right, let me add you guys real quick. Hold up. Let me open Discord on my phone. In the meantime, I'll wait for this trade to kind of play out. Open chat. All right, let me. There's a lot of people I gotta add here. All right, let me start with Desolate. There we go. Let me click on the Arabic name. There we go. Let me click on Dodgy. There we go. 2222. There we go. Yeah, guys, send me your Clash Royale. I'm down to play right now. Cause dude, this trade, like I said, bro, it's gonna take 3 years, bro. All right, there we go. Damn, so you guys are some tryhards in here, bro. Yo, create a clan. Oh, bro, I don't know, man. Yeah, I gotta open it on my computer real quick. I'm gonna wait for the trade to really hit like near PT1, so maybe like up here before I open it, because obviously I know some of you guys are in here like, yo, like I want to focus on the trade. Let's run it. Let me lock into the trade real quick, bro. Once it goes up a little bit higher, then I'll get on in 1v1 you guys or whatever. Oh, by the way, yo, we broke above 21. You guys never told me. All right, bet. That's a good sign. Now, all we need to do now is have enough buying pressure to break above 32, hold above 32, and that's pretty much all we need in terms of not worrying behind the trade. Because if we can hold above the level of liquidity that we swept, and we can hold above the IFEG, what else is holding us from going from rejecting until 48? All right, guys. So yeah, let's see if we can push up a little bit more here. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I know you guys might not want to hear this, but NQ is kind of picking up the S&P divergence here. NQ is the one that's currently leading as of right now. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, NQ is breaking past high of day, while ES is kind of just sitting there, which honestly, with us being on ES, it's not the best thing we want to hear. But hey, as long as NQ is able to hold above with no rejections or anything, ES should be able to hold above and really pump back up. All right, guys, so let's kind of hope that we don't get chopped up, or let's kind of hope that we don't get any unexpected pullbacks into our stop loss, because once again, everything is looking for the upside. It's just we can get one little unexpected pullback, and you know what I mean, that could be the end of that. All right, so we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. All right, so for now, let's just kind of wait. We have a good sign, which is NQ is kind of picking up here. The bad sign is ES is kind of slowing down a little bit, which is, I don't know why. It's not supposed to be doing this. So yeah, we're getting, look at this. We're getting a random ass sell-off when everything was looking perfect, while NQ is holding up on the 5-minute time frame. It really makes no sense here. All right, so I'm trying to work with something here, but yeah, we're getting a straight sell-off here. Like I said, this is not supposed to be happening on ES. Look at this. We're just selling straight down. Everything was lining up literally perfectly. There's no way. There's no liquidity. There's no inverse. There's nothing. There's no reason as to why we shouldn't be going up into 312. I mean, everything was lined up like amazing. Ah, man. This trade is stressful, bro. Let me tell you guys. Yeah, we're literally about to break this previous candle low here. So why? Why are we getting such a sell-off like that? Well, NQ is also holding to the upside. So yeah, we literally got an S&T flip here, and we're going back up now. Maybe it was a fake out or something. I don't know, but man, this trade is some stressful trades, man. Some stressful trades. It sucks though because, bro, guys, at the time ES was looking super strong. We took it, it got weak, and then now NQ is a strong one. Well, ES is kind of slowing down. Shaving years of my life, yeah, bro. Me too, bro. Me too. Trust me, dude. It just makes no sense. I don't understand why that was happening. Because remember, guys, we got all the confirmations. We got the buying pressure on NQ. We got the buying pressure on ES. NQ is now holding above the level of liquidity that it was struggling to hold above. Now we're holding green, but if you look at ES, it's just the most random sell-off to the downside. It makes no sense. And keep in mind, we haven't taken out any highs. We haven't taken out anything. So in terms of a random reversal, I'm not really expecting it. Maybe it's just a random pullback before the big push up because we are waking back up. But man, this is not a fun trade, man. Let me tell you guys. Now, NQ is about to inverse this 15-minute gap, which I wasn't really going to take longs from, and I still am not. But it's also a really good confirmation to have. Oh, wait, I got to see my mouse. It's also a really good confirmation to have to make sure that ES wants to seek higher. Because obviously, if NQ is going up, then we would expect ES to want higher, especially now that ES is the only one that hasn't taken out any levels of liquidity to the upside. All right? This is stressful as hell. I agree, bro. I agree. I was not expecting it, but you know, the market is very unexpected sometimes. So, Let's see, bro. And we were doing good. We were doing really good on this trade. But I guess wait it out. I mean, NQ is kind of still pumping up here, so as long as we're able to inverse this right here, we should be good. Link Clash Royale Super. Let me check. Hold on, let me add you real quick. All right, let's see if ES can get a red to green flip here. All right, I didn't Mo. I think I did. Some of you guys are in the live stream right now playing the game, bro. All right, added Jen as well. Damn, you're all the way down there. Anyways, all right. That's what NQ's doing. Hopefully this holds up green. I don't want to see, because guys, if NQ gets one little pullback, we might be a little screwed on ES. Although we shouldn't. That's the thing that's getting me annoyed right now. We shouldn't be selling off on ES right now. If anything, it should be the complete opposite, because NQ picked up when NQ was the weak one, and now ES is kind of just rejecting off literally nothing. So if this trade hits a stop loss, well, it shouldn't. You know what I mean? We have room for higher. That's really gonna get me annoyed, because it really shouldn't, in my opinion. It really shouldn't. Let me just side real quick. Yeah, we're breaking new candle lows. Oh man, don't tell me that, bro. Don't tell me that, because this trade was literally, this setup was literally perfect, bro. Do not tell me that we see that. And now the market is picking up. We're getting like these very scary wicks left and right. So it's definitely shaving years off of our lifespan, man. Let me tell you guys, with the stress. But let's see what we do, because now NQ is kind of getting the pullback that we didn't want to see. But let's see if it's enough to hopefully not hit our stop loss here. But man, that sucks, bro, because like I said, guys, and I know I keep repeating it, but we shouldn't really be selling off of anything, because we held the DOL sweep. We did everything correctly. It's just, I guess, just a random sell-off with the market being choppy, maybe. Man, that is really annoying, man. But we'll see. In lunch hour, lunch hour doesn't really have anything to do with anything, because everything looks perfect. It's because Dow Jones is going down. I don't really think Dow Jones has an effect on the S&P and the Nasdaq. But yeah, we're kind of just pulling back a little bit here, close to our stop loss. Definitely not something I wanted to see. Hopefully we continue holding this range here. But man, this is a really annoying trade, bro. I hate trading chop, bro, and I seem to I've been getting stuck on it for these last few days with the chop. The setup looks perfect, or it looked perfect at least. It's just now it's slowing down. And everything should be lined up. It's just kind of just slowing down a little bit. If we see, hold on, if we see 4309, yeah, I just do that. All right, see if we can afford a candle flip here. Because once again, NQ is holding, and once again, we're literally getting a candle flip here. So we need to hold above 21 still. But the thing is, we needed a flip or hold above 21 at first. We got it, and ES didn't do anything. So that's the part that's kind of worrying me a little bit. Because one little pullback on NQ and ES is done for, you know? Because now that we're getting the SMT flip. See if we can afford a nice red to green flip here. If NQ can flip, I'm assuming ES can as well, just because it's like the same exact candle. And part of me, honestly, I kind of want to give the trade a little bit more room to breathe just because of this 30-minute gap. But nah, I'm probably just gonna leave it at 299. Either way, this trade is kind of choppy either way. It's because of the market volume. And let's see what this next 5-minute candle does. Let's see if we can hold once again above 21 to see if maybe this time it can give ES that strength that we need to the upside. Because if NQ sells off below this candle, that should be like the trade on ES kind of done. Like I said, although it shouldn't be done, but we'll see. It's just hard to tell with the very, very slow market. Oh, man, the markets lately, guys, these last few days has been so slow and so hard to trade for me. I'll see what I have to what I can work with here. See, NQ is kind of trying to pick up a little bit here, but ES getting really weak. Battery low. Wait, what? Charging. There you go. All right, NQ is about less than 10 points away from inversing this 15-minute, which is a beautiful sign. As long as ES is able to catch up and keep up with NQ, of course. About 7 points away from this inverse. Can we get it before we get any sort of a pullback? Hopefully. If we can see back to break even on this trade while inversing this, I'll be a lot more calm behind this. I won't even lie. Because I won't lie, this trade is, and I know you guys can probably agree with me, this trade is definitely on up there. It's definitely really stressful. Blast, are you gonna look to trade? Are you gonna look for trades after PPI tomorrow? PPI is not tomorrow; it's on Wednesday. CPI is tomorrow. Keep that in mind. All right. CPI is tomorrow. Yes, I will be trading both of them, both CPI and PPI. Now, tomorrow I would expect the markets to be a little bit better, especially with such a major news to come out. Unless it just comes out, super neutral and doesn't do anything, then it would just be a little bit choppy. But it can go all three ways. It can go upside, choppy, or downside. But let's see. NQ's kind of still just really hard to tell, man. It's really choppy. I feel like I just keep going in circles saying the same thing. Yeah, in the meantime, it's just hold this chop. Let me catch up with my YouTube channel in the meantime. A lot of chatting there. But not that stress, dude. Yeah, this trade is. I don't typically trade ES all that much, mainly because of the volume and the slowness and everything. But man, this setup, like I said, it looks really good. I really don't see why we're slowing down around this range, especially so close to our stop loss. But yeah, that's just the market for you sometimes. Stop lows? Yeah, it does. It really does. Plus, we need to start taking trades off open. I try, bro. I mean, there was nothing to really take off today's open. I tried seeing for something, but yeah. Anyways, NQ is breaking past candle lows. This is not the best look, but we'll see. We'll see. Off open today, we didn't have much. We kind of just had like a dump and pump. Not much to really use here. We did have this fair value gap, but there's no liquidity taken or anything, so it's kind of hard to tell what it wanted to do. Hey, peace out, bro. Peace out. Peace out. Love and pump. Yeah, you know, we love it when we can get a trade off of it, but it's really hard to tell, you know, what you want to do there. Should I continue sideways so close? I won't even doubt it, bro. And remember, guys, the PM session could definitely get a little bit slower because we do have the CPI tomorrow. We have CPI tomorrow, which can cause anticipation in the market, which just makes investors not really pump as much money into the markets until CPI comes out. All right, so we can definitely expect some you know, it to get slow around 1:30 to 2 p.m. EST. That's typically when it starts to get very, very slow. But in the meantime, I really want to see 312. That is my target for today. This needs to hurry up. I know, but let's see. Maybe we get an unexpected pump soon. Yeah, Q's kind of selling out. I mean, not really. It's kind of just getting a little weak here. It's kind of like whatever. 26-point candle. How you guys are just accepting defeat? I don't really even blame you, bro. These last few days, like I said, have been really fucking hard to trade in the market. Really, really hard. Despite the winning streak and everything, bro. Like, dude, this chop has not been super fun, bro. It's not much on our end. It's just the market's not really providing much to really work with these last few days. I mean, yeah, don't worry, don't worry. I'm not looking for wins every day. It's just, you know, some market conditions. Sometimes it's really a pain in the ass. Yeah, the market conditions. It wasn't really off open, but it definitely slowed down. Hopefully the market conditions kind of flip with CPI coming out tomorrow. Hopefully you get a new market condition for the next month or so, because of the CPI news. But we'll see how that goes. By the way, guys, this Friday, I know I haven't put out the schedule yet. I'm gonna put it out after this trade or after I get off stream. But guys, this Friday is OPEX. All right, so yeah, we'll be avoiding that for sure. What CPI even is? It's a news report, I think, on FOMC's inflation. It's something on the economy. It makes the markets move like crazy. It's a really important news report to come out. Also, one that makes the biggest spikes. Both CPI and FOMC. It depends on, of course, how the news report comes out, whether it's super bullish, super bearish, whatever it is, or just neutral in general. It would just, what day is that? What CPI is tomorrow, OPEX is Friday, and I'm assuming FOMC minutes is next week, if I'm not mistaken. It's just, yeah, options expiring, but it makes the markets go really, really, really slow. It makes them chop up every single time. So yeah, I just don't trade OPEX days. Yeah, dude, this trade is so slow. It keeps flipping green to red with these these candles that look like atoms, bro. Yeah, we're breaking this candle low here. This might be the end of this trade, bro. Even though it was looking so good, but that's the annoying part, bro. Mostly, we've been dancing around the stop loss like in every single candle. It's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. We've been dancing around the stop loss. Dude, these markets, man. NQ is just holding. It's not even that it's holding. It's just sitting there. It's both ES and NQ. They're just sitting there, but it might just chop into our stop loss and just do nothing. That's what it's been doing, bro. Yeah, I'm about to get stopped out very, very soon. I'm like 1 point away. Dude, this market is super annoying, bro. Super annoying to trade. See if I get stopped out here. I have my stop loss placed at 299, like on the dot. It's just so, like, we have all of the confirmations and everything that look perfect. Yeah, I got stopped out. It makes no sense, bro. Slow ass market, man. It's really, really annoying, but I guess that's what it is. Bro, and the setup literally looked perfect, bro. All of the confirmations lined up. Buying pressure was there. Everything was good, but I guess it just didn't want to work for today. But yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not stressed. It's just annoying, bro. These last 2 days have been, or these last 2 trading days have been really, really stressful. With the one on Friday, you know what I mean? Kind of like being whatever. And then today just getting stopped out for pretty much no reason. Just chopped out. But yeah. Nah, we hit the stop loss. But man, yeah, no, it's annoying. We're getting off. Yeah, no, bro. I'm not trading this chop, bro. We were in this trade for some time and it just didn't, you know. Past 2 weeks. Nah, it's just in general, it's been slow. It's kind of like whatever. Like I said, guys, I'm still open to the setup. I don't know if I'm gonna take it. If the market says like this, I'm just gonna go to sleep. But if we do spike up or something, I'll definitely look at this 15-minute instead. But in the meantime, bro, I'm just gonna avoid this market. This thing is slow as fuck. It's not even worth trading. Now we're spiking. Nah, it's just we're just chopping up. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down. Kind of mid. But guys, I'm gonna get off this market, bro. I'm not even trying to trade it right now. It's too choppy. If it picks up, then maybe I'll put something else. But in the meantime, I have no hopes of this market, man. It's too slow. We've been getting caught up in the chop 2 times now. We're currently 0 for 2 since Friday. So Friday we caught a loss, and then today we caught a loss. But dude, yeah, no, this thing is super slow, man. I do not like it. All right, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna get off this market, man. I'm gonna take a little breather off the charts, and if I see something later today, I'll probably put it out, but I doubt it with this chop. I doubt anything's gonna come up. But you never know. You never know. All right, guys. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna get off this market, like I said. It's just too choppy. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later then. All right, guys. All right, peace out. And by the way, keep your notifications on, just in case. You never know. Just in case. All right, guys. But yeah. All right, I'll see you guys later then. All right, guys. Peace out. Peace out. And YouTube, guys, hopefully you guys were able to enjoy the stream. Man, for these last 2 trading days, we have been over 2. I know we just got out of a 51-day winning streak, but man, these last few days have been extremely complicated to trade with this chop. Really, really hard. So I'm trying here, but in the meantime, I got stopped out on ES, although the setup looked literally perfect. But I'm just gonna set my loss and just come back another time. All right, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream for now. And if I see something later today, I might just put it out in Discord Premium. And I'll let you guys know how it goes tomorrow. All right, if we recover this loss and if we make more money later today. All right, guys. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow then. All right, guys.